Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. The show is about to begin.
Presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon. Joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke Garofalo. Our friend Coop with us, aka Coop A. Fiasco. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. It is Friday, March 10th, 2023, and the boys are back. I'm your host, Simon Greenville, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke Garofalo.
What up?
Joined by the very nice-smelling co-host, Andrew Cooper. Where is Coop today?
Coop is busy testing out new colognes for Calvin Klein.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. They had to stop testing on rabbits, but fortunately, it is not illegal to test on coops.
Yeah. He's not quite in that animal category, but he's close enough.
Yeah. So it makes out. It makes out. That's the right words.
It makes out.
He makes out with the rabbits. Coop's busy making out with the rabbits that used to be used for perfume testing for Calvin Klein. So
now that they have so much free time.
Yeah. He'll see you guys tomorrow or something. We got Tommy in the chat ready for the show this morning with a rhyme bright and early. Said, "It's Friday, my dudes. It's been a long week, but I must keep on rhyming or down goes my streak. It seems hungry teams are taking a look. When you type another message, I lose my spot in your book. At what will it take to bring in a cook? Ewing is done after 6 years as a Hoya. Sorry, Georgetown. He's done nothing for you. A private workout held by OBJ. Has he got anything left? Let's see what they say. Man, oh man, he is making them sweat. Come on, Aaron Rodgers. Just announce you're a Jet."
Ooh, just announce your jet, dude. Quit.
Just say it.
Quit waiting.
What if he had a press conference and he just got up to the microphone and he went, I don't know why I did a race car noise.
He did the slow ramp up first, like.
And then he's like, barrel roll. And he just rolls across the stage.
Commercial airliner.
Craig in the chat said, "Poor Coop in his flight. Hope he is resting well." No, don't feel bad for him. It was just a cover story because he's embarrassed to talk about his relationship with Calvin Klein.
I hope he's not resting well. He's just going to get to sleep in the rest of the morning like some sort of chump.
I hope he's awake watching us right now, unable to fall back asleep.
Yeah, because his body woke him up because it's so used to him waking up early.
Makes me so mad. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be so excited to sleep in tonight. I'm going to be like, oh, man, and I get to sleep in. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, look at my clock, and it's going to be like 5:17. Like how I've slept in 2 minutes past when my alarm normally would have gone off. And my body's like, oh, wow, 2 extra minutes? What did I do to deserve this?
Is it Christmas? My birthday already?
What? Tommy said, let's fly. Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets and says, let's fly.
Let's fly.
Jets country. Let's fly.
Let's fly.
Well, guys, it is that time of morning. JL is manjoring his breakfast or whatever that word is. I'm getting closer, but I still can't.
Manjoring?
Manjor?
Are you talking like the Italian word mangia?
Is that how you say it?
Manja, like eat?
That's not it. No, for sure. It has like a ha-ha feeling to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not French. Ha-ha. It's Italian, like manja.
Definitely not that. That sounds way too playful for what I'm considering. What I'm thinking sounds a little bit like sexier.
Ooh,
like it's a little bit like it's like a sultry way to say you're eating.
We'll figure everything in Italian is sexual though.
Right. A lot of those romance languages just sound sexy no matter what they're saying. Someone's yelling at me in French, and I'm like, ooh.
Stop.
I have a girlfriend.
Cut it out.
I get shoved out of the store. Well, that being said, I hope you guys brought something to eat because it is time for BYOB. Bring your own breakfast. We got the news. We got the savings. We got the stories. You guys just got to bring your own breakfast.
You got the beans.
And Monday has the savings. the daylight savings. That's where that word
That's
came
Monday?
from. Craig put in the check. Get ready for Monday, daylight savings. Which one is it?
That's good. It's a good one.
It's the good one?
We're going back to the good times.
Am I going to go to bed and
You're going to be happier.
Is it going to be earlier, faster, or earlier, later?
Earlier, later.
Yes.
Yeah.
That being said.
Wait. Yeah.
Fall back. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Spring ahead.
Spring that way. Fall this way, spring
that way.
That's how you remember it.
That's how it works.
No, I always just remember this one. This one in college was always the problem night. It was never not a problem.
Yeah.
Because instead of hitting 2 a.m., it would go 1:59, 1 a.m. And you would just get to go another hour. And there's a reason college bars close at 2.
Wait, no, that's fall back, right? Fall back from 2 to 1.
Oh,
spring forward's going from 1 to 3.
Oh, shoot, it's spring. We're losing an hour, you son of a gun.
This was the one that sucks.
This is the suck-ass one.
It's a sucky transition, but it's transitioned into a better one.
They had to do it on Monday? Yeah. You had to do it on Monday.
You had to do it on Monday.
You couldn't have let me adjust on a Sunday or a Saturday. Keith.
Fix daylight saving times, Keith.
Fire his ass again. Arizona, lucky mofos not having to deal with daylight savings time on Monday.
For real. Let's move to Arizona.
Too hot. Well, I guess we could move to the north part where there's like skiing and mountains.
There's skiing mountains in the north part?
I know there's in New Mexico. So.
You just went, huh? Bah.
Sounds good. Geographically, that makes sense to me with what I know about the Rocky Mountains, the northern part of New Mexico,
right, of course,
and the lack of knowledge I have about the general geography of anything west of the Mississippi River in the United States.
Have you ever been to New Mexico?
Define been.
Been inside?
No, I have not been to New Mexico.
It's a cool place.
I've heard it's a cool place. I have not been. I would like to go. It's driving distance from me now.
It is?
Yeah. That was the weirdest part about moving to Texas was my weekend trip destinations all changed, right? Like when I was in Atlanta.
It's all Texas.
Yeah. We could go I could go to like Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia even is not too far. Florida, you could go everywhere. And then I get to Texas and it's like, well, if I go this way and go to Texas, Texas, especially maybe like in the southern center of Texas.
Yeah.
Like every way I drive, it's like 2 hours south to Mexico. And then everything else is like 10 hours in every direction is Texas.
I said, is it driving distance? I kind of forgot that I have flown into Texas and driven to New Mexico when I was a kid. I wasn't doing the driving, but my family was.
I flew the plane, so I got a break once we got down to the ground.
Yeah, I took a nap in the car.
Well, speaking of airplanes, JL, the Jets and Aaron Rodgers are still doing this little dance like Tommy mentioned in his preview. At this point, are you expecting Aaron Rodgers to announce that he's going to the Jets? Are you expecting this to happen?
I think it's the most likely outcome. I don't think all the news that we're getting seems to be in the positive light. This is going to be a matter of whether Aaron Rodgers and the Jets can reach a deal. It seems like a bunch of the players are all campaigning to get Aaron Rodgers there. How much that affects him, I don't know. But it's cool to see, like, it was a Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. A bunch of people were all campaigning yesterday to try and get him to come.
Campaigning was Sauce Gardner was doing a little bit more than campaigning. I forget
what
the
was
quote.
He doing?
He came out
by the cheesehead?
No, with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Said that if Aaron Rodgers comes to the Jets, it's package deals all over. I can't tell y'all who, but just know. That was a Sauce Gardner quote. Package deals. I think this is a dude what are the chances that like the Jets higher ups are keeping a rookie real in the loop on like the other players they're trying to sign?
Probably not that high.
Probably wishful thinking, or probably him talking to dudes around the league. You know what I mean? Maybe talking to some free agents. Maybe he's got some friends. Maybe somebody else on the team has some friends. But that's a promise right there, right? If Aaron Rodgers comes here, it's a package deal. I can't tell y'all who, but just know.
Something. That's something. Yeah, that is interesting. I can't like. Is that Alan Lazard? Is this a defensive player?
My initial thought went to
Devontae
just
Adams?
Packers players. And after that, I started realizing I don't think it is just Packers players that he's necessarily talking about here. I think this is my take on it. Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets will attract a lot of players to the Jets that maybe wouldn't come here otherwise. So like there are players that are waiting for the contingency of, does Aaron Rodgers sign with the Jets? If so, I'll sign with the Jets.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense. Probably like players sign with teams where they think they can win towards the end of their career. You put Aaron Rodgers on that team, a player who wants a ring, might be fairly likely to go sign there with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You can totally pitch that narrative, right? Tom Brady. This is going to be the first year Bucks. This is Peyton Manning, first year on the Broncos. There's a narrative there.
Who was it that came out? One of the analysts came out and said, like, if it was me trying to pitch Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, my entire pitch would be, your legacy will be untouchable if you win one in New York. Like, if you come to New York and win one for the Jets, that cements your legacy. You're one of the all-time greats at that point. You will be remembered. Like, that's a media base, a large enough group that area of the country will not allow you to forget it if the Jets win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
I get that. I kind of get that.
That's different than if he wins another one with Green Bay. Whereas like with Tom Brady, I don't feel like the Bucs one changed his legacy. It's his 7th Super Bowl instead of his 6th. If Aaron Rodgers won a second one with the Jets, it would just change the way I looked at him.
Greg said Russell Wilson's first year on the Broncos. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
And the logic falls apart. In the chat, we got NKC said, good morning. Good morning, NKC.
Yeah.
Albert in here said, good morning, everyone. What up, Albert? Welcome in, my friend. And Trent said, what about Lamar to the Jets? No. Please, no. But maybe. No. I don't think the Jets could afford Lamar.
I don't think the Jets deserve Lamar.
He's like, end the show.
No,
how dare you?
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, like every time it's mentioned. If he doesn't stay with the Ravens, send him to the Falcons. Like I could see him on the Falcons. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Not the Commanders. Please, for the love of God.
Not the Commanders.
Don't make me watch Commanders games next season because I will if Lamar is on that team.
Speaking of Commanders games next season, did you see the NFL is taking a 5th round pick from the Texans? And finding them $175K?
Yeah, I did.
Ooh.
I did.
So I guess it's for a salary cap violation. Houston reportedly did not report properly compensation to Deshaun Watson when he was on the team in the form of a purchase to a membership to an athletic facility. So because they didn't do that, they're going to lose a 5th round pick this draft.
Yeah, it was, from my understanding, it was a $26,000 membership. So this isn't a cheap place.
Still
at a place called nothing, but at a place called the Houstonian. The part of this story that I think we'll probably hear more about, maybe it's just coincidental, at this facility is where 4 of the accusers of Deshaun Watson say that the assault happened. At this facility that the Houston Texans paid for Deshaun Watson to have a membership to. So if anything comes out that they knew about it ahead of time and continued paying for this membership, I imagine there will be further punishment towards them. Now, I don't even know if that's something they're looking into. I imagine the most likely outcome is the issue is not that they purchased the membership for him. It's that they paid for it without putting it on the salary cap information, right? And the assumption is they had no idea what he was doing. And so there will be no further repercussions for them.
Right.
But it adds a wrinkle that like this is where some of the horrible accusations are stemming from, is from this facility that the team paid for.
Right.
Makes the whole thing a little stickier.
26,000. They better work out for you at that gym for real. Just move my arms. I don't want to do anything.
Right, the number of gyms, like whenever I was looking for a new gym years ago that I walked out of because it was more than like $50 a month. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm not loaded. Who can afford that?
Man, there's a gym right near my house. The closest gym probably is so much money, but I want to join it.
I joined an expensive gym one time in college.
And that's the one that banned you for life.
That's the one that banned me for life. But boy, was it nice for a couple of weeks.
We were riding high.
I would show up. I'd lift weights for, I don't know, 7 minutes. Not very long. And then I'd go hop in the hot sauna, the dry sauna, sitting there. I bought a little like tablet for like $50, a crappy one that I would just bring in there and watch Portlandia. And then I'd go from the hot sauna with my headphones.
Full blast.
Yeah, full blast. Y'all cool with this? Everyone in here like Portlandia?
Free
Okay.
range chicken.
Okay, cool. Then I go in the wet.
You guys
sauna
want to
for
watch?
30
Come over
minutes.
here. Slide
Yeah.
on over.
I'm heading over to the other room if you want to come with me. It's a good
This episode's really good.
And then I bring it in the shower with me. Those showers, they had like 2 faucets on this wall, on the ceiling, in front of you. Like you were just getting attacked by water at every angle.
That's so intimidating.
Was
it easy to work?
Yeah, it was easy to work.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
And then the room was so big, you could just step out of the craziness of water. Like you weren't like stuck in it.
Dang, you're describing like a water park right now.
It was practically a water park. One that when you try to leave, they tell you you're not allowed to, and you have to buy a new ticket every single day for the rest of your life.
A water park with a Smoothie King in it.
A water park with a Smoothie King in it. That's exactly what it is.
I'm writing this down for here's the pitch. The next time we do it.
Water park with a Smoothie King in it.
Yeah, water park with a Smoothie King in it.
That's
Water park gym.
That's my invention. A water park with a Smoothie King in it.
You get your exercise by just running around the water park.
Speaking of parks, Matthew Stafford may have to park his car somewhere else next year because it seems like he is on the trade block, JL, from the reports coming out. I think it was Mr. Lombardi who came out and said on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. Oh, no, Michael Lombardia on the Pat McAfee show came out and said Matt Stafford is fully available. They would love to trade him. Came back down to it, said there's one problem with the way his contract is structured. He's got $26 million of an option bonus on the 3rd day of the league year, $31 million in 2024. And all of that is guaranteed. So that's $57 million tied up. But if they can get another team to take on some of that, it looks like they're trying to trade him. Are you buying into this?
That they are trading him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It seems like just recent. I mean, we were just talking about his shoulder injury. Can't remember if that was just something you or Coop brought up on the show, or if there was that was actually a report that's been out recently. But if that's the case, then I can see them trying to move Stafford and get whatever they can for him.
Yeah.
If that is a chronic issue that's really affecting whether like his upside, whether he can keep going, why wouldn't you try and be like, yeah, no, he's fine. He just won a Super Bowl. He's going to be better real soon. Don't you worry.
Even if
give us all your stuff.
Even if his shoulder issue is not a problem, he's a 35-year-old quarterback on a team that has no shot of winning the Super Bowl probably for the next 2 to 3 seasons, right? They are paying the price for loading up and going for that run, which they got their Super Bowl. That it makes sense to me that they want to trade him. I am just curious if they're gonna be able to find a team willing to take on some of that that contract.
I think that's the key. I wonder if any teams are gonna be stupid enough to fall for that. If that's the case, maybe it's not the case. Maybe he is okay, and maybe they are just trying to trade him to try and get some value. It's hard to tell with the limited information we have.
Yeah, Michael Lombardi did also add, they're trying to get out from under it. I don't really want to hear the bullshit that, oh, we're not trying to trade him. Yes, you are. You've called teams. I know this. He's got some inside sources saying he's heard from teams that they are making calls, but makes sense.
It does. The whole who's calling who thing is getting kind of funny.
No, he called me.
This guy's not calling this guy. Everybody look.
All of a sudden, everybody's on the phone. They're like, wait, who started this call? I didn't. Did you?
All of a sudden, Bill's like, I'm glad you're all here.
We have to discuss Dan Snyder.
Oh, God, Bill. We didn't see you there.
I live in the shadows.
He becomes Bane.
Yeah, but like a froggy Bane.
A froggy Bane.
because I can't do the real one.
We got a report from Schefter yesterday, Simon, that there's a real possibility the Vikings and Adam Thielen will part ways in the coming days, allowing the two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver to become a free agent per sources. The two sides will talk in coming days, but his time in Minnesota could be coming to an end. You think that's the case?
100%. I believe this one. Nothing about that seems outlandish or ridiculous, and it seems like an odd thing to be released if it wasn't true.
Yeah, they had him on the Combine broadcast for a bit while I was watching. It's pretty interesting to hear him talk through the prospects and just his experience as a wide receiver, his experience in Minnesota. I think he'll probably sign somewhere or get signed somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Adam touchdown Thielen. He's still got some gas in the tank, but I don't think he has much gas in the tank, which is why I think it makes sense for the Vikings to get out from under him.
I think he feels like at a similar spot to DeAndre Hopkins, not in the sense that like they're similarly placed, but just like relative to each other, they're kind of in a similar spot in their careers where like they can still provide value, I think, but they're getting into those last quarter years.
You think this signals anything about the Vikings' intentions in free agency or the draft, or do you think maybe this signals more about what they think about the players on their roster already?
I mean, they have their wide receiver core. We're looking at Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne.
That's really it.
That's really it. Yeah. So I have to imagine they're going to bring in someone to fill in that wide receiver role.
Osborne's a free agent as well. We didn't consider that. Osborne is also a free agent.
That's a great point. Yeah. So if they don't sign him, they could sign him. Osborne had a pretty good year. He's pretty useful to the team. But I just don't know what he's asking for. If he's a free agent, maybe they haven't signed him yet. Maybe not.
I'm sitting here thinking the Vikings seem like the perfect team to draft a wide receiver. This is a relatively deep wide receiver class. They're going to be a little bit further down in the draft, but within that range, you've got the top end defensive players off the board. It's one of the bigger needs for this offense. If we saw, oh man, I don't even know
Simon,
who would go over there.
Listen to this one. Let me just put this out there. Let me put this on your radar. You tell me how you feel about it. Juju to the Vikings. Juju and JJ. We got JJ on the outside, Juju playing all over the field. Nice compliment. It's like that old Antonio Brown dynamic. The long field stretcher mixed with the Juju-like player.
I don't mind it. The only reason I reacted like that is I was starting to get excited for like
Juju.
That is such a good landing spot for a rookie. To get to be the starting wide receiver opposite of Justin Jefferson in that Vikings offense, right? That's a great landing spot for a young player to come into. Get some wide receiver 2 numbers that first year, be pretty happy.
Maybe this is a good draft.
It would be a good landing spot for Juju. It would be a great landing spot for Juju, but I would love to see one of these rookies land there.
Adam in the chat said D-Hop to the Vikings. I don't know. I think him and Justin Jefferson might be two similar players.
I mean, but no team's going to be worse because they have DeAndre Hopkins and Justin Jefferson.
No, for sure.
They'll figure out how to use both those guys.
Yeah, he's just not really filling in the Adam Thielen or KJ Osborne role when he comes on that team.
Tommy in here saying Vikings going to dump Thielen, Cook, and Cousins, build around Justin Jefferson. Makes sense. I would do that too.
Yeah, we did see. I didn't have that pulled up, but we did see. We got news about Dalvin Cook too, right?
Yeah, that they were trying to trade him as well, if I remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact news. I'm gonna have to find it here.
Dalvin Cook report. There's a trade offer on the table for Vikings Dalvin Cook. So, not necessarily that they've got him on the trade block, but they have received a trade offer. And they're in a spot where they need to clear salary cap space. So that's where it's coming. They're $15 million over the cap. Dalvin Cook still on the roster, and they have received a trade offer for the star running back.
As they're shifting to this more pass-heavy offense, I think this is a smart move.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook is an incredible player. Don't get me wrong. But I think you can get a Dalvin Cook-like player who can be similarly productive in that offense.
I think we're going to start seeing more of these kind of offers coming in, more trade offers, specifically at the running back position right now, with in the past couple weeks. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Tony Pollard. Probably 3 of the highlights of this free agent class all being put on the tag. Right? Yeah. Those were the big 3 names. Now we got Miles Sanders is the best running back left in free agency. Right? With those 3 off the board, Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. So teams that were looking for that superstar at the running back position, it's in the draft, and really the only quote unquote, don't jinx anything, knock on wood, guaranteed running back in this draft is Bijan Robinson, or you go trade for a guy like a Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I like that move, Simon. It just goes back to the whole thing that like running backs are just not super valuable to NFL teams. It's not in the NFL. It's just not the same as it is for fantasy.
Yeah, Dustin in here said Dalvin's contract is the real hurdle. I don't think a team wants to take that on unless they get him cheap, and I don't think Min trades him cheap, so can't get rid of him if Minnesota's unwilling to trade him.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I meant to keep talking because I saw that you were busy, and then I thought, keep talking, Simon.
Keep talking. Stare off.
I remembered step 1, which was remind yourself to keep talking. I forgot step 2, which was keep talking.
Just to listen to yourself.
So do you think Minnesota – Dustin came in here and said the contract is the real hurdle. So it sounds similar to Matthew Stafford getting a trade done. Do you think Minnesota is willing to trade Dalvin Cook for a less than market value deal in order to get out from under of that contract?
Do I think that he tries to get out from under that contract?
No. Do you think Minnesota is willing to accept a less than market value deal to get out from under that contract?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Dustin's saying that the contract is the real hurdle. He doesn't think a team wants to take that on unless they get him cheap, and thinks Minnesota wouldn't trade him cheap. Like they would have to trade at less than market value and give up that contract.
Yeah. No, I think they could do that. I think they're going to try and get any value. He's getting to the age where his value is going to start falling off anyway.
Speaking of another quarterback whose value might be falling off, I saw a quote from Geno Smith yesterday talking about how he's not scared if they draft a rookie quarterback at 5. He's ready to compete and help the new guy who's coming in. That was what he said. If they draft a quarterback at 5, I'm ready to compete and I'm ready to help him learn.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I love that kind of attitude.
Every time Geno Smith gets up on the podium, walks out there on the field, they show footage of him in the locker room. Like, I'm all about the Geno Smith resurgence.
Yeah. No, he's just such a good dude. You can't root against him. It's impossible. Unless, I guess, if you hate the Seahawks, but.
I saw one tweet yesterday whenever this quote came out, and someone said, could someone please get Enem Kapali to punch Zach Wilson in the head and see if he can knock some sense into him too? Do you remember Geno Smith got punched in the head in the Jets locker room for being a punk? Like he came into the league, he was arrogant. The dude came into the league like this arrogant dude, and one of his teammates had enough and punched him in the face, just full on punched him. And
I feel like we got that like 3 or 4 years ago. There was a player who got like full on punched in the face and got. But I don't remember the Geno one. That was 2015, maybe it was that.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. When he was a rookie in 2015,
I believe so.
Why does he feel so much older?
Or maybe it wasn't his rookie season, but it was fairly early on in his career. But yeah, came in, got punched, and someone was wondering if that would work for Zach Wilson too. Comes in with a little bit of attitude, one punch to the face,
just the old PlayStation, a little bop in the side, see if it gets back on track. Huh?
Whoa! Oh, sorry about that. I was being a real dick there.
I just forgot what I did for a second.
I'm attracted to women my age.
Me.
Whew, my MILF sensor got messed up in there.
Things are real weird there for a minute.
I'm so sorry for anybody's mom that I kissed. Thank you so much.
They're like, you don't have to apologize.
Oh, he goes home. His girlfriend's 57, and he's like, oh no.
What have I done?
He bonks himself in the head again, trying to get the attraction back.
She's like, what's wrong? Zach, what's wrong?
What's up, Trenton? I see Trenton in the chat. Good morning. And
What up,
Cam in the chat, Cameron Brown. What's up, Cam? Welcome in,
Cam?
my friend.
Who are we talking about? We're talking about Zach Wilson. That's who we're talking about. Getting
Trenton
a little,
came in and
little
proposed
bonk on the head.
a trade for us with Dalvin Cook. Said Dalvin Cook for Shakur and James Cook. Trade the brothers to the Bills.
Dude, that'd be so weird to trade brothers. They just like high five on the way as
The
they
Bills can't do
switch,
that.
as they
can't-
pass each other on
They
the
can't
highway.
afford Dalvin Cook, surely. Yeah, on the way out, like, enjoy
Woah.
How was it in Minnesota? Cold. What about Buffalo? Cold. Man, like, oh, I'm getting traded from the Vikings. I can't wait for warmer weather.
Dang it.
End up in the one colder city than Minneapolis. Just before Scott Fish comes in here and goes, actually, Minneapolis is colder than Buffalo. I don't know. I didn't check. They're both probably very, very cold.
We get it. It's all cold up there.
Geno Smith just keeps pouring out awesome quotes, too. We had another one yesterday. This one, Greg Bell putting out there, said, Geno Smith says he is betting on himself by agreeing to a more than $30 million chunk of his new, potentially $105 million contract being tied to bonuses and incentives because he wanted to leave the Seahawks flexibility, money to build a championship team again around him. I believe in team first.
Dude. They speak on his name. He ain't calling back.
He's not. I feel like some people, like, they get that shot, it goes straight to their head, and they're like, I'm the king. And Geno Smith is like, yo, let's make this count. He goes, I don't know how this happened.
I don't know what the heck
Suddenly
is going
I'm
on.
a top 10 quarterback in the NFL after not starting for 5 years. Like, he's like, I'm going to do all the right things because something weird is happening here.
Man, that bonk in the head really did a number.
There's little things. Have you ever heard the theory that time travel has existed and people keep going back to try to fix 2020? And that's why it kept getting so effed up. Like, that's why things kept on happening. Like, one of the pieces of evidence is that we were all so worried about murder hornets and then they just disappeared. So, like, someone went back in time and fixed the murder hornets because we just stopped worrying about it. Oh, but now we've got the new variant of COVID. Now there's monkeypox. Now,
I love how our immediate assumption is that they disappeared on their own and not that like entomologists fixed it.
Nope, no entomologist. It was a time traveler.
Simulation.
Hey, it could have been a future entomologist who came back.
Oh, I could have. You're right.
There we go. But Geno Smith starting and being good and Russell Wilson being bad seems totally like a butterfly effect of some time travel wrinkle that
this
we
is
were
why I
unaware
love
of.
the NFL though, is because there's just so much comedy in all of the storylines. It's just like, how does this all happen?
I swear, like, if you just framed it differently, it could totally just be reality TV.
Oh yeah.
If you just framed the way it was presented differently, if you just got like Julie Chen to host it and narrate it and threw up a TMZ logo, then all of a sudden this is reality television.
Right. We need to, I guess we already kind of do this. We just create NFL fan fiction with like hypothetically and stuff. We got to do more of that. I guess Bleacher Report kind of does it too with what's that called? Gridiron Heights.
They do
It's
do it with
essentially
Gridiron
NFL
Heights.
fan fiction.
And I guess if we ever did fantasy football Dungeons and Dragons, it is kind of like live making NFL themed fan fiction. Like you're writing it together on the spot. I don't know. Let's do it soon. You want to?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Who's in? I'm in. I mentioned it yesterday. There's a new Dungeons and Dragons movie coming out. I saw the trailer for it. And I'm so sad because
that could be a number of different things. In my head immediately thought of like 3 different, very, very different.
Not documentary about Dungeons and Dragons. It
Not
is like a high fantasy campaign set in the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Is it set in the world that the campaign is set in, or is it about the people playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Set in the world the campaign is set in. So it is like a high fantasy class or group of people, like a paladin, a warrior. But the reason I'm upset is every Dungeons and Dragons movie that's ever been made is terrible. All of them. They're all bad.
Is it like the equivalent of like any live action anime is usually pretty bad?
Yeah, it's a lot like that, but I don't understand because they have so much awesome source material to work with. And the classic formula for Dungeons and Dragons, like a party of 3 to 5 going on an epic quest to defeat the big bad guy, it's fucking right there, man. Like that's just every action movie ever. And they haven't put together a single good Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I'm going to pay $17. I'm going to go sit in the movie theater and I'm going to leave and go, what the hell? They ruined it again.
With the anime thing, I just can't imagine. Like, what is getting better ever? Even from like the plan, it's not even just like the execution is bad. It's just like, what does it add by having the humans do it versus the drawing?
Let's take all the hard work that these animators did over the course of years to create the show. You know, the true artistry that went into creating this. Let's shorten the work that the writers did to put together a 24 episode season
and abridged
into an hour max of dialogue.
Yeah.
All the writers are now US based English speaking first writers. And I guess let's hire Willem Dafoe to voice Ryu. And one of those ideas was a good one.
I won't tell you which one.
Oh my God. The Ryuk voice was the only reason I made it through Death Note, the live action version, though. Like the movie was terrible, but hearing Willem Dafoe voice Ryuk was just, they nailed it. They did such
just
a good
the tops. Job. We got Kevin Frank in the chat. Said, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, my friend. Welcome in.
What's up, Kevin? Glad to have you in here.
Dustin said, I'm in for D&D. Craig said, FYF D&D, you have to team up to defeat JL and Thanos. I just yesterday evening, like late evening, I used the term in a message, an earnest message. It's like I'm Thanos snapping and it's all going away.
What was disappearing?
It was snapping, and all of a sudden we get 30% of our time back.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah. Talking about AI. Cut you out.
So, would you rather have a remote that you can pause for up to 1 year? That's everything around you. You still move, but think click style remote, but it runs out after a year. There's like an amount you can use for the rest of your life. You've got 1 year's worth of time that life can be paused.
Okay.
Or you have a fast forward button for 1 year as well.
No.
And now you will go through the motions or whatever, but you can fast forward through time.
I never, ever, ever, ever want to fast forward through time.
I'm with you.
There's never a use case for me. I would much rather just sit in whatever shitty situation I'm in and have the time.
I saw a Twitter thread and so many people were picking the second one. And I was like, what? Like,
nope.
All of my favorite things, every single one of them requires me to be alive and present. All of them.
Yeah.
So fast forwarding, I'm just going to miss that.
Yeah. Nope. Not missing those years. That's for sure.
Dustin said, love Simon's Beyonce hair today with the fan blowing it. Do I look like Beyonce?
Absolutely.
I get that a lot, actually.
What did we say yesterday? I don't even remember the context of the conversation. I just remember we alluded to you riding an alpaca in Chile with your hair flowing.
A herd of alpacas riding through the Chilean mountains.
That's what it was. I said you were doing something with llamas, and then Coop's like he's just riding in the Andes with his hair flowing in the wind. Galloping in the open valley.
Shirtless. Not shirtless. I definitely have a vest on, but that's it. Like vest open.
Oh yes.
Just riding on the back of this thing with my hair. You know what? My arms are not up. I am just arms by my side, feeling the rhythm of the alpaca.
Matthew McConaughey.
Exactly. That's what we're doing here. It's a little too casual for me to be going further.
Howdy.
You know the guy, I don't know why this made me think of it. I know exactly why it made me think of it. Do you know the guy Squeezy? He's a content creator. His name's Squeezy for real.
Fantastic name though.
He's this dude and he talks like this. He's like 50 and he always goes like this with every sentence that he says.
It's like upward inflection.
Right. But he'll like get on the camera and he'll be like, yo, so I was walking through the jungles of Colombia and I came across this river and I got in And then it just kept on going. And I got out and all of a sudden I'm in this village and they like made me the king. And then I had a party and like the whole time you're like, shut up. And then it immediately cuts to footage of everything he just said happening. He always has the receipts. And like I could just see Squeezy going. And then I was on an alpaca running down the side of this mountain in Chili Dog.
Just wearing a vest and no pants.
I got to send you some of the Squeezy videos because
I'm just looking at his profile picture and I'm immediately can imagine what you're talking about.
You can hear it and
yes,
see it.
100% I can hear it in his Instagram photo.
This dude just travels around the world getting into the like wildest scenarios and then recording videos with an upward inflection where he describes things very simply.
Very, very simply.
He'd be like, yo, dog, check out these ants. They're strong as hell. You like carrying a stick.
Like carrying a stick. They take bites out of leaves.
We got Adam in the chat saying, has anyone seen the Wu-Tang Clan show on Hulu? Phenomenal. I have not, but
I have not finished it. I watched the first and I think the second season. I think there's 3 seasons. I think there's 3 seasons. It's my best Squeezy impression. Whatever the most recent one is, I definitely have not finished it though. I was watching the other day.
I haven't seen any of it, but
that first season was on point.
Sounds like something I'd enjoy watching. Whenever you said Wu-Tang Clan show, that just sounded like something that was a special edition limited series. So I assumed like 6 episodes. When you said I've only watched the first 2, I was sure the next one was going to be episodes. And when you said seasons, I was like, so many episodes to watch.
It's so good. I think anything set around that time period where it's like New York origins of hip hop, it's just super fascinating, super good.
Is it a documentary series or is it more like a drama based around that time?
Drama based around their like origins, yeah.
3 seasons makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure they could do 3 seasons of a docu-series on the Wu-Tang Clan. They got
like Dave East playing they got Dave East in there. Who's he playing? He's not Method Man, is he? I can't remember, but they got some big name people in there. It's a good show.
Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I was just looking at those pictures.
Joey said, guys, I saw the new Scream last night. That Ghostface just not a friendly dude. I've not seen the new Scream because the first one scared the poopy out of me as a kid.
I've never seen any Screams, but I've worn a Scream mask. Does that count?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'll go check that one off. Add that to my Letterboxd as completed.
See, my dad made so much fun of me because whenever I used to go into the bathroom after watching that movie, I would move the shower curtain if it was closed. Because he like at his house, he always has the shower curtain closed on the shower. And I'm like, when I walk in the bathroom, I'm like, is someone behind there every time? That's my first thought.
That's a good habit, though. It's not I've told this story. It would have saved my ass when Tim hid the 3-foot tall garden gnome in my shower. If I would have just moved that, I wouldn't have freaked out.
True.
The movie that freaked me out as a kid was The Strangers. I just didn't sleep for
God, that
month.
movie.
I was like laid in bed terrified at night for like a month because there wasn't really anything I could do because that was the whole point of the movie.
I forgot that existed until like fairly recently, in which it all kind of came flooding back because it was kind of like a bit like, I was we were just becoming teenagers at that time. So I feel like it was just like a big part of my life of like, oh, scary movie, let's go see it. Isn't that the one where they have like it's like the record playing super loud?
Yes,
in the house.
It's like the sack masks, like the canvas sack masks over the face.
That first creepy part where like it's the first time like in the movie where they show you someone in the background just very subtly, like the first time you kind of see something. Oh my God, it still gives me chills.
Man, those are the movies that I like. The ones where it ends and I feel off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like jump scares, they get me. They startle me, but then the movie ends and I'm like, on to the next thing. But there's certain movies they end and I'm just like, I need to watch SpongeBob for like 2 hours before I can sleep. Like, let's go put Adventure Time on. That is the ultimate scary movie palate cleanser.
Yes, it's an everything palate cleanser. It's just it's a reset
Adventure
button.
Time. Nasty poop. Adventure Time. Scary movie. Adventure Time.
Feeling bad. Adventure Time. Feeling good. Adventure Time.
Dumped by your girlfriend. Adventure Time.
Dumped by your parents. Adventure Time.
Dumped your parents. Adventure Time.
Adventure Time. There you go.
Oh,
The other one is the last one I'll bring up is the Paranormal Activity. Do you ever watch that one?
yeah, I've seen all of the
They're
Leanne and
goofy
I,
now.
like last year, went back through all of the Paranormal Activity movies.
You did?
Yeah.
How did they hold up?
No, not even. Like the first one holds up a little, and I think maybe there's like some nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
By the time you get to like 4, it's like, yo, what are you doing? I think there's like a prequel one later on in the Paranormal Activity series.
Really? I can't, like, I've seen a bunch of them, but the first one when it came out, I have a very distinct memory of it dropped and there wasn't a ton of news about it. It was kind of like they built up this mystique. This like playbook wasn't used a ton prior to this. And my brother goes, "Don't," he texts me, he's like, "Don't watch any trailers. Don't look at anything for this movie." He goes, "I'm taking you out of school and we're gonna go watch it." And so he picked me up from school and we middle of the day went and watched Paranormal Activity like the Thursday. It was like the very first screening. So no one really had seen it or talked about it. And I just show up and I'm like scared shitless after this. I'm like, is this real or is this not real? Because they weren't clear about that. And that was this massive thing the next day at school.
It said like at the beginning of the movie, like based on true events, right? Like that's what Paranormal Activity says, and that's what Stranger says. They don't say that it is true or that there's any truth to it. And it could be the vaguest connection in order for them to say that. Like our friend said there was a ghost.
Yeah.
That's based on a true event. It's based on your friend telling you that there was a ghost.
Yeah.
But that one sentence that they put on the screen at the beginning just makes it 10 times scarier.
Yeah. And Craig with the first Blair Witch Project. And that's
God.
one that they executed that Paranormal Activity playbook before that. And they did it so well. A guy I grew up with, his uncle made that film. And so he and his like family are in the credits because it happened, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from my house. Like a kid I went to high school with lives right next to the woods where they did that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was filmed in Maryland.
Yeah. Kensington.
Other movies like Troll Hunter. Have you watched Troll Hunter, JL?
No.
You should check out Troll Hunter if you like Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity. How did
we start talking about
so
this?
good? Because the Oscars are on Sunday, so there's just movies on our minds, baby. The Oscars.
How did it get named the Oscar?
The Academy Awards.
Who's Oscar? And why does he get all the credit?
Oscar Montoya.
Huh.
And he invented the movie.
Good to know.
No, Oscar Montoya did not invent the movie, and he is an actor, comedian, and hip hop dancer living in Los Angeles that I've enjoyed on certain dropout programs. Couldn't remember where I got that name from.
There you go.
Shout out Oscar. Check out his work. Speaking of Oscar, seems like Coop would cur a lot about what the 49ers did in order to gather some of these compensatory picks. He's been bringing up all offseason that the Ravens are so smart with what they do to gather these picks, right? Collect them. But it looks like the 49ers are having a lot of compensatory picks thrown their way for the coaches that they've given up. So they were awarded 3 third-round picks and also gained comp picks in rounds 5, 6, and 2 and 7. So they had 7 extra draft picks added today.
Whoa.
Right? That's not nothing. 2/3, 3/3, a 5th, a 6th, and 2 7ths is getting added to the Vikings.
That's an absurd amount of picks. That's a lot of picks. And then I also saw that on the other end of the spectrum, Jaguars have, this is Field Yates tweeted this out. Jaguars have now gone 13 years without receiving a single compensatory pick. Come on, Jaguars.
This is the difference between a team that has a spreadsheet
a team that's just winging it.
A team that's just freaking winging it. And you know what? I'm here for it. Like, I'm going to be honest. If I was an NFL team, I'm the Jaguars. I'm probably not taking advantage of this system. like we got a lot. Like, that's I'm running an NFL team and you want me to like worry about this? Unless I hire a GM that's going to be great at that. You know what? I'm a liar. I'm a dirty, rotten liar, JL. I love games and I love finding advantages in games. This would be right up my alley. I'd have so many comp picks.
Oh, all of them.
I'd have
Just
all
be
the
hoarding
comp
them.
picks. Yeah. But I'd appreciate the guy running through the game with his eyes closed, just flailing around that are the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Maybe not now with Doug Peterson there. Maybe
like
he'll
that-
talk some sense into him.
It's like that friend that doesn't quite get the rules, but they are so down to play. Know what I mean?
I love those friends.
Those are the best friends. Like they don't quite get it, but like they're not mad. Oh, my bad. Okay, let's keep going.
Sal. That's Sal.
Everyone needs a Sal.
It's my buddy Sal.
Luke, speaking of games, you want to get into a Weddle game right here?
Yeah, let's do it.
We are undefeated so far. For those of you who have never done this with us, head on over to weddlegame.com to play along. We're trying to guess an NFL player, and every time we guess one, they're going to give us a little bit of information about what's white and what's wrong.
What's white, what's wrong?
Okay. John Luke, do you want to guess the first player?
I would like to guess the first player, and I will go with
Aaron
let's go with Michael
Champlin?
Pittman. Who?
Aaron Champlin?
Champlin, yep.
We went with Michael Pittman. Okay,
Michael
so
Pittman. Terrible.
team is
first
wrong.
guess.
Division is wrong. Position is wrong. But height is close. So we know they're 6'3" or 6'2". They're much older than 25, so 28 or older, and their number is lower than 11. And they are in the NFC.
Okay.
Mine
NFC
says
team.
quarterback.
Your mind says quarterback?
Mine says quarterback. It could be, with being 6'2" or shorter, or being 6'1" or shorter, it's unlikely to be a tight end. Like, I don't know if there's a tight end that's 6'1" in the league.
And number is 11 or less.
That low number makes me lean quarterback as well, is what I'm thinking. Though it could be a wide receiver. I guess it could be a running back. No, it can't be a wide receiver. Like Jerick McKinnon has the number 1, and he's much older. I just don't know if he's 6'1".
Yeah. I guess, and that's kind of shorter for a quarterback, a little bit, right?
It is short for a quarterback.
Maybe a Jalen Hurts. What's his number?
I guess Jerick McKinnon fits like
No, he's too young.
Jerick McKinnon fits everything unless how tall is he? Is he 6'2" or 6'3"? No,
Jerick McKinnon is short. He's like 5'10".
Also, John Luke, I lied to you. This player cannot be 6'1". They have to be 6'2" or 6'3" precisely. So quarterback is more likely now.
Also, they're not in the AFC.
I am looking at the AFC.
Yeah. It's quarterback. What about no, he's too young.
Thanks.
20,
Thanks, Dustin.
20, 26, 27. He's got to be 28 or older. What did Dustin say?
He said McKinnon is in the
AFC.
AFC.
28 or older quarterback. What about Garoppolo?
Yeah, I think. What's his number?
I don't remember.
Fine. Lots of information there. QB is correct. We know that they're 6'3" now because Garoppolo is 6'2" and it's close, so we sandwiched the height. They are in the NFC, but not the West. They're older than 31, a lot older. So they're 33 or older. And their number is lower than 10, but close. No, they're 34 or older.
Aaron Rodgers?
We need a 34-year-old or
what's his
older
Aaron Rodgers number?
Why can't I picture his number? I don't know, 2? That's the number that's coming to mind. But
I don't know what his number is. It might be him.
Close your eyes, visualize, count to 3.
12.
And then
He's 12.
Okay, so I knew there was a 2 in there somewhere.
He's 12. Yeah. Wow, Simon, that actually worked. I feel seen.
In your head, Jay.
All right, so not Aaron Rodgers, but old guy quarterback. Who's it going to be?
Just wait until you see what I make you visualize later.
Oh, no.
Not Aaron Rodgers because his number is too high. Matthew Stafford is old, but it's not in the West, so it can't be him.
Dalton?
Andy Dalton. It could be Andy Dalton. You want to try?
I don't know his number.
Wasn't it him? Could also, wasn't it him not too long ago?
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm trying it. Okay, well, that was bad.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot.
Well, at least we
we
eliminated the NFC South. We know this person is 34. Exactly.
Okay.
Because they can't be 33. And they are 6'3". So it is a 6'3", 34-year-old quarterback.
Stafford.
In the NFC can't be West.
It's Stafford.
No, he's in the NFC West.
Oh, dang. Dang it.
You said Stafford. I said can't be West. It's Stafford.
It's Stafford. I didn't know that you were responding to me. I thought you were just finishing what you said.
It's Stafford.
Stafford.
Ooh, that reminded me of. I'm doing it. I'm doing it this weekend, JL. Fantasy football ASMR, and it's going to be disgusting.
Oh God, can't wait for that.
I think all
Who the heck
ASMR
is this,
is disgusting. I'm distracted.
Yeah, most of the time.
I can't think of old quarterbacks. Okay, let's just go freaking team by team. Eagles.
It's Geno. Geno Smith.
It's not. But the height is correct. He's in the West, you dingbat. You freaking dingaling. This whole time we've just been you're like, oh, I know. A different guy in the West.
All right, we're back to North and East is where we're at. Who the heck is the old guy in the East or the North? Kirk Cousins. This is gonna be the first one we get all the way.
Is correct. We got it, JL. It took us 5 guesses.
Tim said it's Kyler, JL. Yeah, 6'3" Kyler.
6'3" in the West, Kyler.
Would he be good if he was 6'3"? I feel like he gets an advantage because of his size. That's like his whole thing.
I love all the guesses in the chat are they're with us. Tommy, Jimmy G, hashtag 1-800-HANDSOME.
Yes.
In the West. And we guessed it. Joey said, Joey has a fun March Madness fact for us. UNC is set to be the first preseason #1 team to miss the NCAA tournament in the 64, 65, and 68 team era. So in the modern era of the NCAA tournament, UNC, with their loss yesterday in the ACC tournament, is likely not going to make the NCAA tournament.
Dang, just because of one loss?
Yeah. No, it's their overall record and performance on the year. But
they're number one?
They were #1 preseason. So before the season started. Yeah, now we're in the conference tournament phase. And had they won the conference tournament, then they would have made it. But with them losing, they're pretty much guaranteed out at this point.
I got you.
Guys, coming up. What's up?
Suck it.
Suck it, UNC. Tar Heels, more like Tar Suck.
Yeah, suck it.
I like UNC. I'm a little bit sad they didn't make it. Coming up, guys, we got the BSN match game that we're going to be playing here. And you guys can play along with us and get your entries in to win some sick prizes. We're going to play Texas Rangers with our friend Vinny. We've got Fast Guy Quick Time as Tim Wright joins the show. And then we're going to go through some hypothetical scenarios. And you guessed it, hypothetically. You're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
As a longtime baseball fan, here's my message to other baseball fans, to steal a line from the Packers' future Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Everyone needs to relax after what we saw this past weekend as spring training games out in Arizona and down in Florida got going, and we're inching closer and closer to Major League Baseball opening day. The rule changes in Major League Baseball is not for myself. It's not for you out there, the hardened baseball fan, whether you're a fan 5, 10, 15, 30, or even 50 years from all around this great country. It's not for those that are going to be locked in. It's for trying to generate more fans. So if they want the pitcher to go out there and work in rhythm with a guy on base, begin the windup within 20 seconds, nobody on base, begin the windup within 15 seconds, or have the batter make sure that he's back in the batter's box within 8 seconds, then making the base pass first, second, and third bigger, eliminating the shift. All of this is to make the game better. We've seen leagues, whether it be the National Football League. Do you think it's the same league as it is today in 2023, or what we saw in 2022 as it was 30 years ago? No, it's not. Is NBA basketball the same? No. How many games do you see being played? 83-79 finals. You don't see that at all. So every league adjusts to try and bring what? More fans into the sport. And that is something that Major League Baseball is going out there and trying to do. I've been critical at times of Rob Manfred, whether or not as a MLB commissioner, whether he likes the sport based on some of the rhetoric that he has spewed in years gone by. But I'm going to be honest with you, as a longtime baseball fan, I've been a Yankee fan my entire life. Watched a ton of Met games here in the tri-state area. Watched baseball all around. Can't wait for October baseball. Think it's absolutely unbelievable what is transpiring now and what's happening now, and the rule changes being brought about baseball. It's going to bring back to the game to when I became a fan, where the stolen base was something. Moving guys over was something. Having men on base. Batting averages ascending. Not being an all or nothing league where either you're striking out or hitting the ball over the fence. And that is what baseball is trying to do. So as everybody tries to adjust, and change is difficult, whether you're changing your diet, exercise routine, changing your relationships, changing a job, change is different. I get that. And it's hard. But let's take a step back. Let's understand what Major League Baseball is trying to do here. And they're trying to repopulate or repopularize the sport. That's what they're trying to do. They're clearly the third most popular sport in the United States. They want to make it less regionalized. This is the way they need to go about doing it. I'm all for it. For more content like this, download the Better Sports Network app or go to bettersports.com.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. It's in the game. We're about to get into the BSN match game. And guys, I got some good news. If you want to play along with us, BSN is running the match game for everybody right now on bettersports.com/game. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go through 10 NFL free agents. We got a list and we're going to match them with the teams that we think they're going to sign with. You guys can do the same there on Better Sports. First prize gets a $250 gift card to that collectible shop where you can get some hand-signed, authentic merch of your favorite players. They got sick stuff in there. So you can click the link in the app right below the screen or go to bettersports.com/game to play along with us. You ready, John Luke? Oh, so ready that you're a quiet boy.
Oh, yes, 2.0, y'all.
What I'm realizing now is you just said that in such a high pitch that my human ears couldn't hear it.
That is exactly what happened.
Also, I have the hiccups so bad right now. I don't know if you've noticed. They're hitting me like a freight train.
That I hate the hiccups.
Me too.
They're so annoying.
You know I had them for like 6 years, right? Straight.
Yes, I did know that.
Just nonstop for 6 years, all throughout college. The entire time I was in college, I had the hiccups to the point where, like, in classes, I would have to warn the people around me on exam days, like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to hiccup, like, all the time.
The entire time.
I went to the doctor and they said, yep, you got the hiccups. Like, they did chest x-rays, blood
I knew that.
work. And they were like,
I figured that one out on my own.
They're like, yeah, it's probably due to the hiccups you got. Like, oh, cool. Thanks. Dustin in here said tight end yesterday for Coop in the Weddle. Kirk Cousins today for JL. Weddle is going to be all Simon on Monday. Oh,
Darnell Moonin.
Here we come.
Darnell Moonin is what I said because you started talking and my brain broke.
We were talking a little bit March Madness before the break, JL, and I just had to mention one thing. First of all, Clemson looked phenomenal last night. I don't know if you watched the Clemson-NC State game. It started out close, and then that Clemson defense, good God almighty, was just suffocating the NC State offense. They couldn't get anything going. But what I will say is there was this dude on NC State. He got subbed in. I was watching the game. DJ Burns Jr. I looked him up afterwards. He is 6'9", 275. He is a big old boy out there, like the largest man on the court by far. Just
big old
like
boy.
He is all of 275 out there. Like most basketball players now are like, they're built quick. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the prototypical basketball player. This is like throwback to like 90s basketball. He is just getting the ball, using his body, driving in. And like every time you're like, no way he can just keep moving forward. Then he gets under the basket. And I swear to God, it looked like a charge every time, but I think he's just 275. So when he drops his shoulder a little bit, these guys that are like 215 just go flying and he's just like plopping it in. It's not graceful. It's
nice
just
and easy.
Power basketball going in. I was having so much fun watching them.
My mom was reminding me the other day, that is exactly how I used to play basketball. I wasn't like massive tall or like just like a massive human like that, but just play like football. I go super, super aggressive, just play really hard for every ball, be on the ground most of the time, possession arrow my way.
I'm with you, JL. The one time we played basketball together,
Tank.
and I was so sure I was running straight through him. Know what I mean? Like I was driving, I was so sure whenever I drove, I was going to drive straight through him to the basket, and instead I just hit a brick wall.
To give you some context, the one time Simon and I played basketball together in college, we played outside of my apartment complex and started playing with these random guys, one of them being named Tank. And so we played one-on-one with probably our shortest friend. And then Simon ran straight into Tank. And it was like their knees collided.
Yeah,
Simon's was blown out.
Tank's didn't fall.
Tank's knee was fine. Tank didn't even notice.
Tank was like, huh? Excuse me? He had his eyes closed.
He's like, we're playing?
Dominic, let's get into this NFL free agency match game. We're going to start with the first player on this list, which is one we've already talked about a little bit. That's quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, currently on the 49ers. What I need you to do is tell me where you think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to end up.
Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to end up on a team that needs a quarterback. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans is where Jimmy Garoppolo ends up for you?
Yeah.
It seems like an odd move for them, but they're not a team that I'm like confident they're not going to make odd moves because they're not.
Get a decent enough quarterback who you can start your rebuild around. You don't need to start with the guy who's going to be the ultimate key. You just need someone who's good enough so that you could fill in the other holes.
See, I'm going the other way. I think he's too good. I think it's pointless for the Houston Texans to go get Jimmy Garoppolo, to pay him, to lose that money and make your draft pick worse next year.
That's fair.
Like, this is a team that is nowhere near competitive. Roll with Davis Mills or bring in a new rookie that you draft and let them start. Know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
let them get that experience while your team sucks anyways.
That's a good point, Simon.
That being said, the Texans don't always make the moves that make the most sense.
Right.
This isn't a team where I look at them and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. They won't do it. Because that doesn't make sense. They might do it. Gator said, good morning, fellas. What's up, Gator?
Welcome morning, Gator.
Phone. I'm going a little different here. It's another team that needs a quarterback, but in a very winnable division. I guess the Texans are in a winnable division as well. But this team's rival, the New Orleans Saints, just signed Derek Carr, so they need someone to be able to compete with them. Tom Brady retired. I think Jimmy Garoppolo goes to the Buccaneers, follows Tom Brady over there to the Buccaneers, and you put Jimmy Garoppolo on that team, they're a borderline playoff team in the division that they're in.
He's gonna just draft or just like tailing Tom Brady's career.
But he left,
but in like a really terrible execution.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's coincidental that it's following Tom Brady again, but it's the team that makes the most sense for me with how they're positioned and the type of quarterback Jimmy G is. They don't need a freaking game winner down there, like a league winner. They need a guy that can come in and get the ball to Mike Evans, to Chris Godwin, to Rashad White. Make it happen.
Scotty Miller.
Miller.
I think he's a free agent. Yo, I got to hit up. I met his, I don't think I said this on the show, but on my way to Vegas, I sat next to Scotty Miller's college roommate. And he started asking me what I did. I guess he saw my stuff I had up on my computer. So what do you do for a living? And then randomly, so he's like, yeah, I'll hook you up with Scotty. So try and get him on the show.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah, caught passes from the GOAT. I'm gonna hit him back up today.
Don't say beam me up, Scotty, if he comes on.
I won't.
You promise?
No.
How many times do you think he's heard that?
Oh, I think the same amount of times you've heard Simon Says.
How many times do you think he's heard that in the bedroom? Like a real funny person in there who
6.5.
Beam me up, Scotty.
And he's like,
someone's done it. You know what I mean? In his life, someone's laid in the bed sexily and looked at him and said, beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty.
We got Gator in here. What's up, Gator? Welcome in, my friend. Glad to have you here.
What up, Gator?
Well, let's move on to our next player, JL. Up next.
Wait, so you went to, who'd you say again?
I went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bucks.
For Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
Up next, we have Jesse Bates, the safety out of Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Bengals star safety. I'll go first on this one since you went first on the last one, John Luke. And I'm going to go with, I'm not entirely positive here. I know he expressed interest in going to the Browns, but I don't know if that's going to happen in division. I don't know if that's, you know what? The Browns do need secondary help alongside Denzel Ward. I'm going to say he ends up on the Browns. He stays in division. Jesse Bates goes to the Browns. They got some work to do. I do think they're not one of the most like cat-friendly teams right now, but there's rumors that they're going to move on from Nick Chubb, at which point this could happen. So I'll say the Browns in this one in a slightly surprising move that they make it happen.
The Browns, I like that pick. That would be a big FU to
The Bengals.
the Bengals, yeah. The Bills need safety. The Colts need safety. I wonder if the Bills can afford him, because I feel like that would be a solid move. Shore up that defense. Just keep moving towards that Super Bowl run, right? Like they missed it again this year. I know this is brutal for them because they are one of the best teams in the NFL. And now looking at it, I don't think they have the space for it. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
Which team?
The Bills, if they're going to be able to afford him. So I'll go with the Colts. I'll go with the Colts here. Colts need a safety, and I feel like that would be a decent move.
Jesse Bates to the Colts. JL's guess. Next, JL, we got a player that you know. Orlando Brown Jr., offensive tackle. Trying to figure out where he's going to end up next. Where do you think Orlando Brown ends up in free agency?
Orlando Brown, man. He could go anywhere. Like, so many people need offensive line. I'm trying to think who might be close.
You can name some teams that are offensive line needy. The Jets, probably. The Chicago Bears.
Jets are decent. Yeah. Broncos.
Yeah. He also
Texans.
He could stay where he is with the Chiefs. He's a free agent, right? That could still happen. He could just sign back with the Chiefs. Just won a Super Bowl. Maybe he wants another one. The rest of the gang sticking around, except for Juju.
I think the Bears. I think Orlando Brown's going to go to the Bears. Bears need offensive line help, and they have a ton of cap space, the most out of all the teams.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. We're going to agree on where Orlando Brown's going to go.
Yeah.
It's between the Bears and the Jets for me, but I think they try to secure that O-line a little bit for Justin Fields, trade that first pick down, get some more draft capital, maybe get him another weapon there. And this Bears team, if Fields continues to develop, could turn around quickly. With his first overall pick, the bidding war that looks like is coming for it. They signed a good left tackle. Could be in business, baby.
Cooking.
Man, Justin Fields behind a good O-line.
Lights out, baby.
Gator in here said Orlando Brown to Tampa to protect their new franchise quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, I like that. Building on our scenarios here.
Well, up next, we've got Javon Hargrave, JL. Javon Hargrave.
So defensive lineman here. Another position that he's going to have a lot of interest across many teams. Falcons need defensive line. Who else? Steelers. I'll go with the – go ahead.
I think he just stays with the Eagles. He's spent his entire career there. They almost just won a Super Bowl. There's all this hype around the team. Next year's the year. We're making another run. We didn't quite get it. I think he re-signs with the Eagles and goes on to win a Super Bowl with them next year.
I like that. I like that call. I'll go with the Falcons.
Falcons. They got all that cap space. They got to spend it somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they might prioritize defense.
Makes sense. The Falcons, Javon Hargrave. Well, up next, John Luke, we have Marcus Peters as the player that we need to determine where he's going to end up. So this is a dude on your Ravens. Where do you think he's going to end up?
He's coming off an injury.
He's a little bit older. Old. What, like 30?
Yeah, he's 31 maybe. 30 might be right. I'm trying to think. He might sign with a team. Didn't he get injured later in the season? Let's put him on the Seahawks. Do I want to make that move? Seahawks? No, I don't want to make that move. I was just thinking Bobby Wagner.
I
He's a
mean,
linebacker.
I think that doesn't make sense for the Seahawks. Their secondary wasn't great this year. It doesn't look like they're phoning it in the Geno Smith era. It looks like they're trying to compete. So I don't mind that move.
I don't mind it either, but I'm not going to do it. Where are you leaning here, Simon?
I'm leaning the Las Vegas Raiders. That secondary was weak. They just put the franchise tag on Josh Jacobs, which signals to me that this is a team that thinks they're still going to be competitive, even with Jarrett Stidham under center, unless they're making more moves at quarterback. I think they go out. Marcus Peters fits. They need that secondary help. They can afford to take that risk a little bit on a 30-year-old aging veteran because maybe they don't have to pay as much as some of the premier free agents right now. But I'm going to roll with the Las Vegas Raiders.
I like that pick. I have my pick now. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
It feels like Jerry Jones would be hyped to get some Marcus Peters there. Be like, all right, this is the missing piece.
Jerry Jones loves a name too. Like if it's
yeah.
like a household name, he's like, mine, on my team.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, mine. Marcus Peters, mine.
Trent said, where do you think a good spot for Jalen Ramsey would be a good fit if he gets traded? Probably similar to Marcus Peters. These teams that could use older, more experienced or veteran talent at cornerback. I think that's where you're probably going to see him go.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys as a spot for him. Yeah. And Gator said that would be a Jerry move.
It's classic Jerry.
Classic Jerry. Well, John Luke, up next, we've talked about him a bit already, and you put out one potential landing spot for him earlier in the show. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Where do you think Juju, the premier free agent wide receiver of this class, is going to end up?
I think I am so tempted to say the Vikings. I'm going to say the Vikings. I kind of want to say the Ravens too, with this whole, I think that maybe they trade Lamar, get a quarterback. Potentially this is one outcome is they trade Lamar, get a quarterback, like a rookie quarterback who's cheap. That frees up a ton of space to then go get a wide receiver and bolster that wide receiver core for that new offensive coordinator, Monken. So, I don't know, Simon, which one do I go?
Well, I'm going with the Ravens. That's where I was landing. I think Juju and this new offensive scheme is going to be sexy. And they're going to prioritize getting him the ball in this offense. It'll be Mark Andrews and Juju show. I mean, because there's Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman should still be good. He might even be the number one wide receiver ahead of Juju. But who's next? Demarcus Robinson, and I'm pretty sure he's a free agent if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore too. And the difference is the cap. Baltimore has some more cap space, and if that scenario I mentioned plays out, then they'll have more.
If the Vikings trade Dalvin Cook, then they can make it happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, Simon, stop it. All right, I'll go Minnesota.
I just like to encourage it. Minnesota Vikings, baby.
Man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Jail. The next words out of my mouth are going to be shout out Lizzo, because every time I say Minnesota Vikings, I hear it in my head.
I can't not hear it now. Thank you, Lizzo. And just shout out Lizzo.
Incredible. I wish.
I like that we covered both bases. Baltimore. Yeah. She's coming to Baltimore on my birthday.
Can I finish that sentence so it sounds less creepy?
Yeah.
I wish you weren't so far away when I was at your show at Austin City Limits. I saw her. You just kind of jumped in right after I said, I wish you weren't so far away. I have no idea where Lizzo is, and she's perfectly fine wherever she is. You don't have to get any closer to me. But at the concert, I couldn't even hear you. I could just hear everyone else screaming your songs. Are you going to go see her?
I don't know. Probably not.
Gator's agreeing with us, saying Juju to the Ravens.
Juju to the Ravens, yeah. That would be – I think I would like that. I think that would make me happy.
I think I would like that.
I think I would like that.
Well, JL, the next player we're talking about here is a running back, David Montgomery of the Houston Texans. D-Mont. There's a bunch of running back needy teams out there, but not a ton that have like a full opened workhorse down back role available. Where do you think David Montgomery ends up?
Running back spots. Man, if Miles Sanders walks, maybe he goes to the Eagles. Ooh. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with the Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
It would be so weird. David Montgomery in an Eagles jersey.
Yeah, it would.
Something about that just feels off. I don't mind that spot, and I guess it takes away some touchdown upside, but you still got to be pretty happy with a running back in the number one rushing offense. I think he would be successful there. I'm going to go with
Gators and Monty to Miami. That's a good one.
Here's a good one. That's I'm going to go with another team with a rushing quarterback. What in the world? When did Tim get here?
Tim.
Oh.
Welcome in, Tim. You were early. You made it.
How's it going, boys?
Better
Tim,
now.
I have a very important question for you. Where do you think David Montgomery is going to sign as a free agent?
I heard somebody say Miami, and I really don't want that because I want Saquon. But
You just have franchise tag, so Saquon is out.
is it an exclusive or?
It's exclusive for Saquon.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. I still want him though. Have they considered that?
That's fair.
I'll call him.
Real quick. I could see him going to the Bills. I mean, I feel like he's going to be relatively cheap, and the Bills just are going to be a dumpster fire of a running back room again. Not like it's not now, but I feel like they're going to try and make some type of weird splash and try to hurt my feelings, but it's not going to work. So
That's exactly where I went, Tim. I think he makes sense. Pair him with James Cook. You got the receiving work back in James Cook. I know Monty had that one season with like 80 targets, but I don't think he's a receiving downs back. James Cook can handle that. We saw it this year. He's freaking awesome at that. Get David Montgomery in on first and second downs, and then maybe Stephon Diggs doesn't have to pout on Twitter next year about I don't know what's wrong with our team. Did you guys see that? Tweet? It was something like, I don't know what's wrong. We should be winning is what it came across as.
I mean, I told you guys the Bills aren't ever going to win until the smoking man from the X-Files is dead and the actor's still alive. He's like 85 years old. He literally made it one point. I was watching through all of the X-Files and he's like running the world. And it's like, well, the Bills fans really want it this year. And then it's like, no, they're not going to get it. And that was like the stretch where they lost 4 years in a row or whatever. And it's like, they're not going to win until I say so.
So as soon as he dies.
Well, maybe now they can lose with David Montgomery.
Yep.
Gator in here. St. JL needs to grow out the hair to fit in with this crew.
I know, right?
Get that flow, JL. Grow it out.
Oh, God, never.
Michael in the chat said Monty to the Rams. I could see Monty to the Rams.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah.
True. That's a great counterpoint, Tim.
Let's spend a lot of money on our running back for our lack of an O-line, our quarterback who might be traded.
God, if they just gut that team and then roll Baker Mayfield out there again, it might be the saddest point in his career. Like if it's fully gutted.
I forgot he was there,
and
honestly.
then they re-sign him and roll him out there. Okay, so our next free agent that we're trying to nail down a landing spot for is tight end Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz.
Where do you think Dalton Schultz is going to end up? Cowboys tight end, but maybe not for long.
I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. They just signed Derek Carr. And that's the end of my logic. That's it. 100%.
And they don't trust Adam Troutman, apparently.
Yeah, I feel like Dalton Schultz is that he's a tight end, so he's going to be a little cheaper. And I feel like he's gotten enough production that they're going to be like, oh yeah, he's going to be a major part of our pass game.
I can see that. I'm going to put him on the Texans, I think is where I'm going to put Dalton Schultz. It seems like a move that makes sense for them. They're way under the cap.
Tennessee?
The Houston Texans.
Texans.
They're likely going to draft a young quarterback, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, maybe Anthony Richardson. And they don't have very many receiving weapons there, right? Brandon Cooks is not likely to stay on that team. It doesn't sound like he wants to be there. So Dalton Schultz could be a great target for a rookie QB.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
Texans. Tim, where do you think Dalton Schultz is going to end up?
I mean, I was just for some reason Cincinnati just screamed at me, and I wanted to look at Hayden Hurst's contract, and he was a undrafted free agent or unregistered free agent right now. So I think that would be a pretty fun landing spot for him. Get him landing in that that offense could be pretty wild.
Which offense did you say, Tim?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Dang.
That could be fun.
That would be wild and just the worst for fantasy.
Yeah, that'd
Just
be a
the
mess.
absolute worst. Just so yeah, let's add another option there to just siphon opportunities away.
Yep.
Another good option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they already have
Good
one of
enough.
the best third wide receivers in the league in
Mhm.
Tyler Boyd. And
Right.
then you're going to add a upper echelon tight end. Like I'm not going to
They
say he's
don't
top
need
tier,
that.
but
They don't
Yeah.
need it, but it'd be fun. I tell you what.
They've had Drew Sample and Hayden Hurst and this whole crew of
Random.
ragtag tight
Tyler
ends, and we
Eifert.
haven't even noticed.
Yeah.
Tyler Eifert.
shoot, what's the other guy's name that I won a championship with? You could start him randomly. He'll have a 2
Uzama.
touchdown game. Uzama.
Uzama.
CJ
Yeah.
Uzama.
5 touchdowns
Yeah.
and like 2 catches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is this guy doing? That'd be a
How
lot
is
of
he
fun.
doing that?
If they lose
That
Jesse
would-
Bates, man, no defense, all offense. Guns a-blazing. Let's go.
Offense, I love that.
Yeehaw. Talk about fun for fantasy, but maybe not.
Just like a supercar.
Yeah.
just a Bugatti Chiron with no defense.
We're not going to turn, but we're going to go so fast.
Guys, our next player that we're trying to identify is Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker. Where do we think Tremaine Edmonds is going to end up? Buffalo Bills linebacker Tremaine Edmonds.
I want him. I want him so badly.
You want
So bad.
everybody, Tim.
Well, but this one I really want. Miami needs linebacker help for sure, and we just
Yeah.
got Vic Fangio. I think that would be an absolute dream to have that locking down the center of our defense there. It's not going to happen, but I want it.
I could see that one. I'm gonna go with the New York Giants, and it's that Brian Dable connection. I think a lot of these players liked playing with him over there in Buffalo, even though they were on maybe different sides of the ball. He's got that connection already. This is a team that needs linebacker help, already overperformed in year one, has some money to work with. So I think the Giants getting Tremaine Edmonds would check out. I like the connection. I'm sure he would rather go to Miami. I'd rather live in Miami.
Yeah, right.
Oh, for sure.
I get to be on
For
the other
sure.
side of the. I don't get to get baked every single
I mean,
time I come down there.
JL, what do you think?
I think Tremaine Edmonds is going to go to the Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Oh, I can just see it. Yeah, I see him in a
Yeah.
Patriots jersey.
right. It fits.
Yeah.
Patriots have a bunch of cap, and it just feels like that. Like the Patriots are cornerback, like they're cornerback purists. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the McCourty twins, and no, like they've had a solid cornerback talent over the years. So I feel like Patriots are a good spot for him. Or he's a
One
linebacker,
more.
but-
He's a linebacker.
I was going to
That's
say anything.
I was looking at the the word cornerback.
linebacker, cornerbacker, backbacker,
Cornerbacker.
upbacker. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders is the last one. Running back, Philadelphia Eagles. Jail's already replaced him with David Montgomery, saying that David Montgomery is going to end up there. So, John, look, where do you think Miles Sanders ends up in return?
Man, I think he ends up in Philly with David Montgomery.
He ends up back in Philly with David Montgomery.
He just goes
Yeah.
on a nice little vacation. He's like, you know what? I just want to come back.
I
That's
thought for
amazing.
sure you were going to say the Bears. They were just going to switch.
They're gonna swap. I'll go with Miami.
Miami Dolphins. Tim, what about you?
I was going to go with Miami too, and I don't want that. It just feels like it's going to happen. It just feels like it. I don't know why. I don't want to have to. I've been off the Miles Sanders train for so long. It just feels like it's going to happen.
Double Miami Dolphins. And I'll
Oh, you
say
did go Miami?
the
Tim.
Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to say he ends up on the Chiefs as that running back. They're
Oh.
going to move on from Clyde
Oh.
Edwards-Helaire, and Isaiah Pacheco's value is done, and Miles Sanders gets put over there.
Dude, the Chiefs are going to pull some nonsense and trade up for Bijan, and I'm going to just hate myself.
Oh my god!
I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate it so much.
There's
I don't
no
even
way.
know what to do if they do that. I don't even know what we would do with that.
I've set a calendar alert for every Chiefs game next season because they're going to be so much freaking fun. I don't know, just start saving up money to buy tickets to Chiefs games, Chiefs jerseys. I think that's what you do.
Just
Oh,
place a
where'd you
bunch
guys
of
go
money.
for David Montgomery?
With David Montgomery, we both went Bills.
You both went Bills, okay. And then
Bill,
Tim, where'd
Bill.
you go for Tremaine?
Well, I wanted Miami, but I'll say Miami. I don't care.
Miami.
We'll double down. Everybody's coming to Miami, baby. Let's go.
I got all of these written down in Notion, so we can put these in the
Oh,
games
nice.
themselves. see how we compete against all of you guys.
Tim's all 10 is my.
I'm gonna hit one of them. I'm gonna hit one of them for sure.
Maybe even two.
Maybe.
Guys, coming up, we have our friend Vinny Iyer joining the show to play some Texas Rangers with us. And then we're going to go through Fast Guy, Quick Time, and Hypothetically to close the show out. You're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Talk about your picks and your fantasy teams on Better Sports Network.
The importance of checking out the site that you're playing on. Default rankings of these sites. A lot of times they don't get updated. I know from experience. I used to write default rankings for the NFBKC, the basketball version of the NFBC. I'd write these default rankings in June for the NBA, before the NBA draft, before free agency opened up. And guess what? I was never asked to write an update article or update the default rankings. This happens a lot. Maybe if there's something obvious, it gets updated. Aaron Judge, for some reason, hurts his back. Maybe they make that change. Just maybe. But you don't know that. And that's why it's just so important that you show up to your draft room or you do that pre-draft prep. We're all busy. We know we're about to devote a lot of time to our fantasy baseball drafts. Why not spend the extra 20 to 25 minutes to invest properly in your team? To go and see which of those players are way down default rankings. They're going to be different on all of these sites, and you're going to be looking at them and going, maybe their analysts think a certain player who shouldn't be in the top 100, who should be maybe even not even the top 200, will be in that top 100. You got to check that out. You got to know where you're playing, just like you got to know your format when you sign up for the league. It's just so crucial, and people just skip right over it. You think it's cool to show up to the draft room 3 minutes before the draft. Well, number one, it's not cool because the commissioner's trying to make sure it is organized, especially me, who runs auctions. You can't, it's one thing if someone doesn't show up for the snake draft. Oh, well, doesn't ruin it for everyone. Auctions, you can't have someone not show up. Auto bidding, auto auctioning, it ruins the sanctity of those drafts here, which is why I always recommend, hey, make it easy on your commissioner. Don't make them send those texts there. It's annoying. You shouldn't have to do that. Don't wait till the last minute and get in there about 20, 25 minutes before so you can just look up and down the entire default rankings list so you can make a queue out of that, Ron. And the reason I keep saying this is because people still show up 2-3 minutes before the draft, and that's it. In fact, in one of my auctions, people were asking me where certain players were, and I go, did you search their name? No, I just got in. Well, that's no excuse right there. That's your own fault. I mean, when you're organized, so you're a hard person to ask here.
You're getting those questions. This is your preschool league, right? People don't know how to search player names.
People freak out. They don't think. That's the problem. Because they show up 2 minutes before the draft. That's why.
The Playbook with Fensty and Ronis, presented by FantasyAlarm.com. Weekdays at 5 Eastern on Better Sports Network.
Oi! What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. It's in the freaking game, and Vinny Iyer is about to join us to play a game with us. Before we get into that, though, we got an all Clemson show here today.
Let's go.
All Tigers, all Clemson love. I talked a little bit about that game yesterday. Clemson did end up beating NC State. Tim, I know you have this problem that I have too. If they make the tournament, my bracket is ruined.
Busted.
Yes, I know. Every time. Do the same thing. I send them all the way every gosh dang time.
Because I'm like, I started, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then like, it's just one upset at a time though. No, what I mean? Like,
right.
And if it happens, then I want to be there.
Yep.
Right there with them. I don't want to be like, oh man, I doubted him. Now look at me. Yeah.
My bracket sucks every year anyways.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there watching the championship with Clemson in it and looking at my bracket and seeing them out in the round of 32. Like, I would be so sad.
I do the same thing, guys.
Simon, I've told the story about your brackets for many times, especially the one when we were in Miami. And you're like, I bet you're not going to guess who I picked. I'm like, I don't know, Iowa State. And you're like, how'd you do that? And then they just got bounced immediately. I tell that story so often.
One of my problems is the year Kemba Walker led UConn to the national title. They were a 3 seed. And that was the first time I correctly picked the national champion. I just fell in love with Kemba Walker through that Big East tournament. Like, I was like, oh, nobody is stopping this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is going to win a national title. And then he did. And from then on out, I've just got an affinity towards 3 seeds. Like, that team won. And whether I want to admit it or not, if you go back and look at all my brackets, my most common champion is a 3 seed. I just keep picking them. I'm trying to relive that magic, but I can't capture it.
Man, the glory.
Tim, you picked Kentucky the year they won it as a 7 seed, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you pick them to win the whole thing?
So there was one year when I did get them right, and there was another year where it was like it's like Villanova, UNC, or something like that, and it was me versus Steve, and they won on the buzzer beater, and Steven wound up winning that whole bracket, and I was just absolutely livid. But yeah, I got the Kentucky one. It was awesome.
Someone who gives 0 shits is going to win your bracket pool. Guaranteed. Well, guys, joining us on stage right now to play some Texas Rangers is our great friend, Vinny Iyer. He is an NFL and fantasy football writer over at Sporting News and a host on the Locked On Podcast Network. Vinny, thank you so much for joining us today, my friend.
Hey,
Hey, good morning, guys.
Vinny,
good morning, my friend.
We're introducing you to another member of the Front Yard family today. He comes on after you on Fridays usually, but with Coop not here, filling in a little bit early for us. This is Tim. Tim, this is Vinny. Now, kiss.
Okay, which way do I go?
Be careful, Vinny. His mustache tickles.
You'll like it. How you doing today, Vinny?
Doing well, yes. Getting ready for actually.
Basketball.
I can actually get excited about college basketball for a change at this time of year. So
Yes.
it's exciting.
What's your favorite bracket memory, Vinny?
That's a good one. Just getting to the tournament a few years ago was great for Northwest. Winning.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. I've had brackets in the past. So I've won about 3 or 4, like in the company, since probably 2000. 2000 was probably my biggest win when I had Michigan State winning. So,
email the rest of the company every year just to remind them.
Yeah, I think I got a Palm Pilot. I think the award was a Palm Pilot. That's how old it is. I clearly have usage to this day. Use a Palm Pilot. So it's fun. I like March Madness. I like filling out brackets. I do a little bit of Sporting News too, using the Ken Palm data. So I try to use that and try to figure out picks and all that good stuff. I've struggled with the champion of late. I've done really well in the early rounds, but the champion, man, it's been hard.
Northwestern, are they projected to make the tournament this year?
They will. Good, right? They are playing in the Big Ten tournament as a bye team today.
Nice.
So they're one of the top 4 teams in the Big Ten. So big surprise season to finish, I think, 11th or 10th in the conference. So they're in. They're going to be in. But I'd like to be in with a top 4 seed. That'd be great. So
that would be awesome. But the game they have today, if I'm not mistaken, Penn State is one of those trap teams, it looks like. Like, they're already being talked about as a potential like sleeper Cinderella team in this year's tournament. Like, they've got the pieces. So got to get through them first today. But that game's a little bit later. Is that what you're getting prepped for?
Yeah, I think it's at like 6 there. But yeah, I mean, Penn State also ruined senior night at home. So they're going to remember that. Yeah,
they're going to come back for vengeance tonight. Northwestern going to get that W for Vinny. Well, Vinny, we're going to play some Texas Rangers today. You've come on and played this with us before. Tim has never played Texas Rangers with us before. It'll be his first time.
It's going to be bad.
So here's how the game works. We're going to be given a prompt for a specific number, something like how many passing yards did Patrick Mahomes have this season? Our contestants are going to have to guess a number range. So you're just going to give a range that you think that number is within. So you could say 4,000 to 5,000. If the number is within that range, you're going to get 1 point. And additionally, if you have the smallest correct range, you're going to get 3 points. So 2 additional points on top of that. Now, if your range is more than double the number, you will get 0 points. So you can't just do a big old 0 to a million. You're going to get nothing if you try that. We'll go like this, back and forth, given our ranges until we run out of prompts or run out of time, at which point whoever has the most points is our champion.
Let's go.
You ready?
I can't wait to congratulate you, Vinny.
Well, this is not my
All right.
game. I learned last a couple times. So we'll see.
Just wait. You're just getting the hang of it. All right. Our first one here. Let's see. You guys are going in the order that I decide. And so, Tim, you will be going first on this one, followed by Vinny, followed by Simon to give your number ranges. Your first prompt is the average length of an NFL game in minutes. The average length of an NFL game in minutes.
This is like including commercials and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
In minutes. Okay, math. Oh no. I'm going to go ahead and say between 150 and 180 minutes.
150 and 180.
Yeah.
Okay. What number range would you like to give? Average length of an NFL game in minutes.
Okay, I'm going to factor in there's some overtime games and some long games here. So I'm going to put it at, can I do 181 minutes to 220 minutes?
Brutal. Brutal.
You can, but there is no Price is Right rules here, just so you know. Like
Yeah, I know.
if both of you are within the range, you will both get the points.
But if his range is smaller,
Yeah. Okay.
he gets those bonus points. But Vinny,
He
what you
does,
forgot is there's one more person going after you
Uh-oh.
who can sneak a smaller range in as well. And I think the length is going to be a little bit higher. I think we're downplaying the number of commercials in some of these games. So I'm going to go. As soon as I said this, I realized I didn't write your answers down. I've immediately forgotten the size of your ranges. But that's okay. 215 to 240.
215 to 240. And friendly reminder, play along in the chat. We love it when you guys play along in the chat. We will call you out if you get it right. And if you get the smallest range.
Ah, man, I think I'm on the short side. Oh, well, that's okay.
We will see. I lost my place, though, so we will not see. The average length of an NFL game in minutes, we got Dustin in the chat with a guess of 181 to 250. The actual answer is 192 minutes.
Damn it.
So
So
Vinny,
close.
Tim, you were just under, so you're not, fortunately not going to get any points here. Vinny, you are going to get 3 points for being the only one to correctly for your range to answer correctly in your range and for having the smallest one.
Yeah. And you had to be 3 hours because those games are usually perfecally timed for the next
Yeah, that's what I
kickoff.
was thinking. Yeah.
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 I probably spend those 12 minutes going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's
Every
what it
game.
is.
That's what it is. I just missed
Your
those, so I'm not
internal
accounting
clock
for it.
doesn't count your poop time.
Dang.
It just
Oh,
leaves it
Always
out.
the middle of the third quarter.
That's brutal.
That's why days for me are only 20 hours long.
And
And how did
Dustin,
those 4 hours go?
Dustin in the chat did get his range was correct as well, but not as small as Vinny's.
Not as small as Vinny's, Dustin.
All right, Vinny, this is going to put you in the lead 3-0, and we're going to go on to our next prompt. Vinny, you will be guessing first on this one or giving us your first number range, and your prompt is: how many baseballs are used throughout the MLB regular season?
What
A
the-
million.
I have literally no. I don't even know how many. Like, I know a baseball team plays like, I don't know, a million
Oh my
games a year.
gosh.
Like, that's what I'm starting on. Good luck, Vinny.
Yeah, there's like a million. Like, can we do this math in enough time? Like, I don't know. Like, know where to start. I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna say
Oh my god.
25,000 to 30.
25,000 to 30,000. Locking that in.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Simon.
I don't even like how many games do they. Okay, I'm gonna say 26,480 to 36,480.
Okay, thank you. And Tim?
There's a reason I did that. There's real numbers there.
So, how long are seasons? Like 180 games or something crazy like that?
I'm just going to tell you what I wrote. I wrote 172, but that number could have been pulled straight out of my butthole. Like that could be a fake number.
Oh God. And that, I don't know. I'm going to bet the over. I'm going to say like 40,000 to 6. No, I'm going to go like 50,000 to 80,000.
50,000 to 80,000.
Or a lot of games, dude. I don't know. Giving kids balls and stuff.
So many teams. And I feel like baseball is just like they grab a new one every time.
I know.
You really do.
Also, we're getting confirmation from producer Keith that it's 162 games in a season. So
cool.
Pretty good for someone who doesn't watch baseball. I'm going to take 172 as a victory.
Wow, that is pretty good. 10 off. You got the last digit correct, which
if you would have Texas Rangers me on that one, I would have gotten it.
Yeah. I should have asked that. That's a good prompt. Well, the actual answer, how many baseballs are used throughout the MLB regular season, is 262,440 balls. So nobody will get points on this one.
Damn it.
So the problem,
my
gut
math was so much higher.
I assumed 10 balls a game. I should have assumed 100 balls a game.
Yeah.
Then my math would have been close to correct.
100 balls a game?
That's crazy.
I wonder if it includes practice.
It could be.
No, they can't track that.
And I bet what this is just the number of baseballs purchased by MLB teams during a season. I bet is what this is.
Maybe.
Like batting practice.
Also, Keith coming in the chat saying they use 50 to 100 balls a game. That's what's coming out.
Okay, well
that's
makes
wild.
Sense. I thought they would use like 50. They need this many balls.
Keep losing them. All right. The score is the same. Vinny, you were still in the lead 3-0. We're moving on to our next chat. Also, I don't know that we called this out. Victor came in when Tim came on and said, Tim! And then also mentioned Schultz reunites with Kellen Moore. Be wild.
I could see it. Where do you think Dalton Schultz ends up, Vinny? We were talking about that a little bit earlier. He seems to be one of the more interesting free agents.
Yeah, I had a piece. It's going up later at Sporting News. It's where guys would land. I had him go to the Lions, but I could see the Chargers as well. But I also see the Chargers in the range of bound where they could get either Michael Mayer or Dalton Kincaid. So I think that's what they have to decide. If they want to go in that direction, I know Gerald Everett's a flash from the roster. So I think they definitely are going to be the market for a tight end. So I like Dalton Schultz to the Chargers.
Makes sense. Also, Tommy came in here and said, but every time a ball hits the dirt, they replace it. So if a ball hits the dirt, they get a new baseball.
Is that true?
The way he said it, it sounds true.
Pretty much.
I'm going to believe it at face value and not Google it once and use it as fact. I'll mention it every time someone mentions baseball from now on.
And Dustin said, and each ball gets rubbed down with a special mud only got Delaware River.
And that's not Delaware the state. That's Delaware a different place. That's Delaware with an E instead of an A.
It's true.
That's the Delaware River.
Delaware. All right, guys, let's get into our next prompt here. Simon, you are giving your range first, and your prompt is the number of golf courses in America.
Oh my God. I literally just watched a George Carlin stand-up bit where he proposes that we turn all of the golf courses into shelter for the unhoused people in the United States and screw the rich, help the poor, because golf is a rich man's game. And he goes through and he says, do you know how many golf courses there are? There's blank that cover this many acres. And I know this was 10 years ago, but if I could remember that, it would give me a very good frame of reference for this question. I watched that yesterday. How many golf courses? It's an absurd amount. Maybe more than baseballs.
Yeah.
They also use 250 balls. They use 250,000 balls in every golf course.
Yeah.
Dear God, the number of golf. How many golf balls does Top Golf use in a year? All Top Golf locations.
Top Golf.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna
next
go with
week's Texas Ranges.
I'm gonna go with 140,000 to 180,000.
140,000 to 180,000.
That feels really
That's
high. I'm rolling with it though. That was my
Locking
answer,
it in.
and that's what I'm locking in.
Is my apartment a golf course?
All right, Tim.
Wait, how many per state is that?
I was thinking like 100 per state.
Is
but
America
I'm
just a golf
super
course?
confused. I'll go with 1,000 per state minus some change. We're gonna go. Oh crap! I immediately lost my math there. I'm gonna go 8,467 to 14,208.
1,208. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
you got it.
Vinny, you have a range.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to say 5,000 to 10,000 and call it a day. Does
5,000 to
include,
10,000.
does this include like 9-hole and putt and all those other things? Does any of those...
I don't think so. No.
All right, so I'm going 5,000 to 10,000, and that's it.
5,000 to 10,000.
What was my guess again?
140 to 180,000.
180.
I feel like
okay,
some states, and then some states have like 0.
Yeah,
So 4.
all those Alaska golf courses.
All right. Well, the actual percentage of, or I'm reading my poll perception script in my head. The number of courses in America is 140. No, I'm just kidding. 8,776
Oh,
courses.
crap.
You guys both Tim and Vinny were correct here. But Vinny is going to pull in the extra 3 points because his range was 5,000. Tim's yours was more than 5,000.
You sure? Did you do the math?
I did, but not correct.
I do just want to give some defense of my answer. It's not as ridiculous as it sounds. I did a little bit of math. Golf courses are on average 160 acres. So 180,000 golf courses would be approximately 28.8 million acres. The United States is 2.3 billion acres. So that's just a little over 1% of the land in the United States dedicated to golf courses.
Yep.
Which now that I say it loud, actually 1% of an entire country being
absurd
dedicated to golf courses is a lot of golf
That's
courses.
still a lot.
I stand by it.
That's an
It's really
appropriate number. It's an appropriate amount. So
You know what? There we go, Vinny. It makes sense. The 1%ers get 1% of the land dedicated to recreation and golf courses.
That's how it works.
mhm.
All right. Well, Vinny, you are massively in the lead now, 6-1 to 0.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who was 0? Is that Tim was 0?
No, that's
I think it's-
Simon with 0.
I think I have 160,000 actually.
And Nick in the chat said calling it exactly 17,777.
My lower one is almost there. I should have just left it at that.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get into our next prompt here. Your next one, and Tim, you are giving your range first on this one. How many movies and TV shows does Netflix have?
Oh God.
Originals or just in general?
I don't have the information.
Okay.
Keith.
Yeah, that changes a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
In general, he said.
Okay.
Oh no.
Did
Okay.
he speak in your ear?
All right.
No.
Let me start naming them off.
Did you say TV shows and movies?
Yeah.
So just
Oh,
everything.
good God.
Mhm.
Anything.
I'm gonna go with. I feel like I remember seeing it on Netflix. Like browse the over 10,000. So I'm gonna go with 10,001 to 20,000.
10,001 to 20,000.
Yeah,
To 20,000.
but it could have been 100,000. I might be missing a zero. I don't know.
All right,
It could be
Vinny.
a million.
Okay, this one is tough because here's a problem. Netflix is always adding and canceling shows all the time. Like,
Feels like canceling more than adding.
yeah, something that's really funny. They have a lot of shows with either 1 season or 2 seasons, and that's
Yeah.
and then they exist. They just float there, or they get pulled off the channel altogether. And I don't know, things disappear Netflix from time to time. So I'm going to that's the Netflix bell ringing. I'm going to say it's a million.
A million?
Million to million two, 1.2.
1 to 1.2 million?
Yeah. I'm going to include international shows. So 1
Okay.
million to 1.2.
I think I might be a little low.
All right, Simon.
No, I'm just going, I don't know.
I'm going to go 500,000 to 1.3 million.
1.3 million. Okay.
I just want to point.
Massive range. 800,000 range.
Please.
Okay. And just a reminder, you will get 0 points if the number is.
Well, here's the deal. It's impossible if I'm correct, it's impossible for my range to be larger than the number it is because my range is 800,000. My lowest number is 500,000. So given my range, I probably could have even gone a little bit higher, but it's impossible for me to be double if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, I wouldn't have gotten the points anyways.
Well, we got a guess in the chat. We got 6,000 from Nick.
Oh, okay. That's a lot lower.
And Nick is correct. It's 6,206 is the
What?
correct answer.
Oh, okay. I feel pretty good
Tim,
about
you were
that
actually
then.
pretty close. Yeah, you were like
Nice.
4,000 off.
All right.
I mean, I was with you. I was like, I don't know, a million. Like I've seen some weird movies on Netflix.
Okay, just a little bit of side on Netflix. Their interface is so bad.
So bad.
Like, it's
Used to be good.
bad.
So bad.
I don't know how many shows are on there. Like you're just drowning. Like suggested for you. Like no, I don't. Yeah.
Scrolling through a million options in Netflix would take forever, guys. Like an absurd amount. You never find that
I
many.
thought they had all these weird things, like all these weird, like South Korean messed up, like with mind bending movie. Watch them, and I'm
Ooh,
like,
like
where are you watching
Parasite?
this stuff?
And then you scroll on
Yeah,
to
like the
your
original
Netflix.
stuff. Yeah, in Korean, and like, where are you finding this stuff? Web of Netflix? Like,
And then all of a
So,
sudden
I
you get
don't
in
know.
there and like your recommended categories are like cerebral Scandinavian movies or like like a raunchy fantasy films for ages 11 to 14. Like they just have like the most oddly specific categories that are based off one thing you watched.
yeah.
And if there was like 1.3 million movies or TV shows on Netflix, you just have entire sects of it probably that are just like ghost towns. Like nobody watches. It's just like holes that that are just in the corner, lost forever.
I don't know what my favorite Netflix show is. I have no idea anymore. I thought I liked
It's all
something,
garbage. The
Yeah.
quality is so bad on Netflix now.
Peacock and Amazon and HBO have a lot of good stuff, but
HBO and Apple TV are my top two.
yeah, it's in relation to those, we still get it. But I mean, I'll tell you one thing: the Netflix kid shows bad, most of them.
I will say I like Disenchantment, the Netflix original by Matt Groening. It's very like Simpsons Futurama-esque, but in a fantasy universe. That was one Netflix show recently that I somewhat liked, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's like gone downhill. I haven't gotten into a Netflix show hardcore recently.
Yeah, there are definitely some good ones on there. All right, well, Vinny, you are going to win this game of Texas Rangers. Well done, my friend.
Congratulations.
6-1-0.
Do I get the Walker box set? Can I get it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on HD DVD though, so I hope you have an HD DVD player.
Walker, Texas
Okay.
Rangers, yep.
The new Walker, okay. There's like a new Walker.
That was
There's
like,
a Walker
that was
prequel. There,
that-
Walker prequel on now.
Chuck Norris is a baby.
Crawler.
Young Walker.
Crawler.
It's a Crawler Ranger.
Crawler. Texas
It's
Ranger.
like Walker in the 1800s.
Texas
It's
Ranger.
like yeah, it's like Walker in the 1800s. Like if we or something.
So it's not him as a baby. They just went back in time.
And they went through the Walker lineage.
A prequel. You take a character and then just throw him back in time.
Actually,
Yeah.
Vinny's just been watching Back to the Future 2 and thought it was a Walker Texas Rangers prequel.
Yeah, I remember. You remember Conan? Well, you guys might not, but like the Conan O'Brien, he had a Walker Texas Ranger lever, and you just pull it. Stupid, like Chuck Norris kicking someone through the door.
Yeah. Simon and
Just
I
called for
are both shameless Conan fans.
I'm a stan. I love Conan O'Brien.
It was the best thing. He would just pull it, and there's
Chuck Norris coming out.
Yeah, throwing somebody through a window usually. Yeah.
I need a lever like that in my house. Well, Vinny, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on. It is always a pleasure getting to hang out with you. And everybody watching, if you're not already following our friend Vinny, go and follow him on Twitter right now. He's on Twitter at Vinny Iyer. That is VINNIEIYER. And check out his work over there on Sporting News. And if you want some help in that BSN free agent match game that we got going on, Vinny just teased to us that he's dropping an article later today over there on Sport News where he goes through some free agent landing spots. Vinny, thank you so much, my friend.
He's a man. Vinny.
Yeah, you can have me next week depending on how I feel. Like
that's fair.
Thursday. Yeah, I'll be
then no.
If we're playing on Friday, I'll be hearing stuff and be ready. So.
Oh, if they won, we're all gonna show up just Wildcats pumped, ready to go if they pull out that victory. Enjoy your weekend, Vinny, and good luck to your Northwestern Wildcats this weekend.
Next week.
Thanks, Vinny.
Well, guys, coming up, we got some hypothetically and some fast guy quick time for you. You're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Monday Night Rants with Edward Rouse on Better Sports Network.
Do you believe in the Madden curse? Do you think that's a real thing?
I did. Now, I don't think it's as big of a deal anymore, but it was a real thing for a solid 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it was Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, Peyton Hillis.
LT was never on the cover. I know that.
Was he not? I thought he was one. Okay, well, you do know all the covers of everything.
Yeah, okay. So if you want, I could do this real quick. So Garrison Hurst is the first official Madden cover athlete, 1999. 2000, I believe they still put John Madden on the cover. And then 2001 is where it all started. So 2001, you have Eddie George. 2002, Dante Culpepper. 2003, Marshall Falk. 04, Michael Vick. 05, Ray Lewis, first defensive player on the cover.
Okay.
06, Donovan McNabb. 07, Sean Alexander.
Okay.
08, Vince Young. 09, Brett Favre.
Okay.
10 is a trick one because it's
no way you know.
And Larry Fitzgerald. 11, Drew Brees. 12, Peyton Hillis. 13, Calvin Johnson, I believe so.
You're right.
14.
No way you know.
14, also a trick question.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's the Madden 25 cover, and it's Barry Sanders, unless you got it for the new consoles, in which case Adrian Peterson
Oh my God.
was on the cover.
You're not cheating. You're not looking at.
Swear on my life. Swear on my life.
Okay. Keep on going.
15, you have Richard Sherman.
Okay.
16, hold on. 16 is Odell Beckham.
Okay.
16. 17, now this is the one I get mixed up because 17 and 18 are back-to-back Patriots.
They are.
17, I think, is Gronk, and 18 is Brady.
You are correct.
19 is Antonio Brown.
Correct.
20, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my goodness.
21, Lamar Jackson. 22, Brady Mahomes. 23, John Madden. But yeah, dude, I'm a cover nerd when it comes to this stuff.
We now know, but that was really impressive. I don't know how.
Thank you.
That's literally 29 of them or something like that. Wow, that is. You did not miss a single one, and you even got the special editions where they had two people on the covers.
Monday Night Rants on Better Sports Network.
What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We're about to get into some fast guy, quick time, and some hypothetically. Before we do that, though, I have to tell you guys about something I learned about yesterday. I saw a YouTube video of it. I don't know if it's actually real, if you can go somewhere and do it, but I watched guys do it, and now it's all I want. I was talking about golf, made me think of it. Have you heard of all sports golf?
Yeah. Where you have to drive, throw a football or
the golf ball has to go in the hole eventually. So your final shot does need to be a golf ball, but getting there, you can use any sport. Maybe off the tee, you're hitting a baseball and then you chuck a football for the next one. Then you kick a soccer ball And then the last shot just has to be the golf ball into the hole. And there's like different balls you can use on different holes, but all sports golf.
That's pretty dope.
Sounds pretty sick.
I think we got to go do it.
It's another reason for me to throw my arm out, which is pretty cool.
Right? It'd be beautiful. Well, we're about to get into some fast guy quick time coming up. Before we do that, we've talked a lot about March Madness today. I wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be running a March Madness contest this year. We have the link in our Discord if you want to go over there and get your bracket in to compete against us. We'll see who comes out on top. The moms did pretty well last year. Joey brought that up on the show yesterday. The FYF moms killed it in the bracket challenge last year. So
my mom is no slouch. She knows March Madness.
It's not about taking us down. It's about taking our mamas down in that challenge because they're going to have some good
mama bears.
Don't say it like that.
Sorry, yeah. Phrasing.
Phrasing. Doing that.
So Jay said, Tim, your mustache looks exquisite today.
Thank you. It's pretty good. It's got egg in it today.
Yeah. God.
Is that a new product?
What kind of egg? Whose egg?
Yeah, I heard it's good for the follicles and making them extra itchy.
Which is the number one qualifier you look for in mustache hair.
Of course.
How itchy is it? Tim, can I ask you a question about mustache?
Sure. Which one?
How do you trim the bottom without ruining it? Because they keep like sneaking into my lip.
Yeah.
I just feel like a little like it feels like someone's just like poking my lip with a needle.
Hello.
Tucking it in a little bit.
Who's in here?
It's not a good feeling.
I just go like
Anybody
this.
home?
And then I just go straight across.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
I just use the lip as a guide.
Okay, if I show up Monday with a real bungled mustache, it's Tim's fault.
You make it a flat pillar.
A flatter pillar.
A flatter pillar. You took my joke and you just elevated the hell out of it.
In the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I'm watching, they've been shrunk down to tiny size and they're fighting ants. And the ants have catapults that launch ketchup. So they're catapults.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, I hope you know as soon as we start doing the fantasy football / NFL Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to be a part of it.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. I have to remake my character, don't I?
I think I do too. I created one 3 years ago.
I told Tim, like, Tim, I'm sorry. But like he picked the Arakakra race, which is like a bird person basically. And I was like, I just have one rule. Your character can't inherently fly. It makes it so hard to build a balanced campaign when someone can just fly from level 1. Like, do you know how many like level 1 to 5 problems are solved by just flying? Like 80% of them. So like if you're gonna do that, you need to earn flying through spells.
I didn't know that.
You did not know that. That's what I'm saying. It's like I felt bad saying that to you. Like you gotta have to make a new one, but I'm not good enough to design a campaign where you can fly from the get-go. Guys, let's get into some fast guy quick time. For those of you who have not played this with us before, this is the game where the only rule is to not think, just speak. You're going to be asked a series of rapid fire questions that you have to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Do not think. If you think, your opponents are going to start going, hurry up, and apply that pressure.
Real annoying.
Oh, they're going to be so annoying. Coop, unfortunately, isn't here. This is his favorite game, but
he always does well. He always does well.
He hates
Tim is absolutely out of pocket in this game. Least surprising outcome ever.
Who's going first today?
Tim, no. I'll go first. No,
okay.
Simon, you're going first.
Damn it. Okay, I'll go first.
I'll go second.
Let me get a sip of water first, just to
moisten up those lippy poos. Because we're about to go fast. Guy,
that was a mistake.
I knew it was going to happen. I was like, if I was going to do that, I'm just choking over everything.
The last time, I should have never done that because the last time I did that, it fully went down. And when I choked, it just like came back out like a blob of water. Like it wasn't a spray. It just like ejected.
Jay said, let Tim just go twice. We'll just have Tim do all 3.
Tim goes 3 times.
Mega fast time, quick.
Fast guy, quick time, long time.
Stop making me laugh.
Oh, this is not good. Already being in this headspace going into the questions.
All right, you ready?
No, but let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Nickname for your fists.
Dog power.
Curse you put on a team you hate.
Avada Kedavra.
Weird shopping flex.
I bought so many raisins.
Football team you wish existed.
The Cleveland Purples.
Place with the best bathroom.
My house.
Favorite canned food.
Barnes & Noble. Shoot, that was the right answer to the last question, but it was what was on my mind.
Way to say goodbye without saying goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Favorite football penalty.
Roughing the kicker.
Name of your cereal.
Frosted Flakes.
What is Coop dreaming of right now?
My butt.
Favorite backhanded compliment.
Oh, you look great for your age.
Thing you say when you stub your toe.
Yeah.
Way to intimidate someone during a handshake.
You take your thumb and you rub the inside of their palm.
What would you sell to make $100?
My virginity.
How do you test someone's loyalty?
My virginity.
Nice. Well done, Simon.
Well done.
Whew.
I got so many raisins.
Check out all these raisins. You want one?
I bought all the raisins. I don't even like raisins.
Weird flex. Weird shopping flex. Well
Dude,
done.
Have y'all been in a Buc-ee's bathroom? Those things are elite.
Yo,
Thanks to Simon, I have.
Elite.
yo,
Thanks to Simon, I have.
The stalls don't have the gaps in the door.
Oh,
They're clean
man.
as hell. Like they said,
Haven't you talked about it on stream?
I have.
Like in depth.
I have gone down the Buc-ee's gopher tortoise hole multiple times.
Gopher tortoise.
Whew. Okay, well, John Luke, I think you go next, and then we finish up with Tim. You ready?
All right. Yep.
Let's get JL in there. Ready, set. Best name for a mouse.
Pierre.
Object you use to bribe someone, not money.
A computer.
Favorite quote by Abraham Lincoln.
Not today, but tomorrow.
Come up with a new name for Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Big Guy.
The most romantic fast food restaurant.
Arby's.
A weird place to eat a burrito.
Arby's.
The worst frat fundraiser.
the decathlon.
Perfect costume to wear to the Super Bowl.
Mr. Peanut.
Game you wished you could live in.
What was it?
Game you wish you could live in.
What's the first word?
Game.
I still want
Game. Game.
Grand Theft Auto.
Favorite bone.
Tibula.
Perfect time to die.
Right now.
What would you change your name to?
Pierre.
Name a holiday in your honor.
June 14th.
Your favorite comment on a porn site.
Checked out my LinkedIn.
What's your Jedi name?
Puer.
Pierre the Mouse and Puer the Jedi.
The duo we never knew we needed. Balance to the force right there.
Oh, mice and men set in Star Wars universe.
Pierre and Puer.
Puer. I was like, don't say Pierre, don't say Pierre. Puer.
It's just like
I'm
Ratatouille,
pretty-
except he's like controlling a Jedi.
I'm pretty sure Puer is like a fermented tea or something. Like I'm pretty sure like that's a real thing.
Oh my god.
Whew. Well, you got me with that one, JL.
June 14th. That's the name of my
That's your
holiday. June 14th.
Always makes me
I think
of
that's
JL.
Flag Day. I think that's Flag Day.
Sorry, Flag Day. This day's mine now.
Today is June 14th now.
And what's the new name of your holiday? What are you changing it to?
June 14th.
June 14th. Well, you heard of the 4th of July.
Oh, today's June 14th. Do we have work?
Actually, we did it first.
We are going based off of the
Oh.
4th of July naming conventions. Whew.
Oh, I'm gonna poop my pants.
It is Flag Day, JL. You were correct.
Oh,
I've had multiple very close friends of mine with that birthday. So that's how I knew that.
There you go. Okay. Well, Tim, that leaves you. You're the last one left, JL. You wanna throw these questions at him, or you want me to do it?
You got it.
Okay. Tim, round 3, a fast guy, quick time. Are you ready?
I think so. I have a little bit of a giggle fits already. So
Okay. Well, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Describe your driver's license in one word.
So small.
First impulse purchase.
A dog.
You're a killer in a horror movie. What's your killer name?
Squibbles.
Who would you throw a fight for?
Throw a fight for my dad.
Activity to turn people on.
Tickling. Yeah.
An animal you want to save you.
Damn, dragon.
An animal that you want to save.
Dolphins all day.
What's the name of your furniture collection?
It's stacked by Tim.
Can you say to a doctor to get payback?
Well, my bone's broken and so is yours.
Name your whiskey brand.
Ew, whiskey.
Mythical creature you want to smoke with.
Papyrus is an animal.
Something you do to show love.
Firm high fives where you clasp.
First thing you pack when traveling.
Most thing? What?
First thing you pack when traveling.
I like it way too much underwear.
Sounds you wish dolphins made.
What?
Sounds you wish dolphins made.
Just really, hey, you know it, baba da boo.
The worst coaching mantra.
You guys suck, but try.
Well done,
Good
Tim.
work, Tim.
He said, yo, bobbity boobity. I'm a dolphin.
That's my Dolphins.
Squibbler.
Ew, whiskey. That'd be the name of my whiskey brand as well.
That was an honest whiskey, I think.
It's a great whiskey brand.
Stacked by Tim has me crying, he said. Stacked by Tim. Oh my God.
Can you describe that furniture brand for us a little bit, Tim? Like, what's the aesthetic of Stacked by Tim?
I mean,
Can you stack them, or is it just the name?
Real thick on the bottom, and then you
real thin at the top.
real thin on the top.
All this furniture has a thick base.
It all,
Single one of them.
it all comes to a point at the top.
Good luck knocking my furniture over.
Yeah, dude.
It's stacked by
Center of
Tim.
gravity. It's slogan. That's the commercial right there.
Damn.
Jay said, "Can we please just have the show on Fridays be Tim doing Fast Guy Quick Time for 3 hours?" I'm crying.
Fast guy, quick time, long time.
Fast Guy Quick Time, long time, Tim time.
Tim time.
That's what we do on Fridays. Good God.
Tim is like the opposite of Coop in this game.
Just lets it fly.
The antithesis, yeah.
I feel like Tim turns into the fullest Tim during Fast Guy Quick Time, and Coop turns into the emptiest Coop during Fast Guy Quick Time.
The emptiest Coop.
There's not much Coop. There's not much Coop in that Coop whenever he's going, but Tim is overflowing with Tim during his Fast Guy Quick Times.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't think of a mythical creature, so I said papyrus.
You said papyrus? Is that a font?
It's a font in a paper. Like
Papyrus.
What is your favorite font?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I can't answer that.
I'll tell you what.
Montserrat.
Helvetica is pretty nice. I'll tell you what. I hate Calibri now. After sending emails all day for years on end, Calibri can suck it.
Calibri's too childish, isn't it? Or like playful.
It's like, yeah, kind of. It's kind of like Play-Doh. It's just so vanilla. There's nothing to it. Like Times New Roman at least has a little bit of class to it.
I never use Times New Roman. As soon as I like turned from 8 to 9, no more Times New Roman.
I just use Comic Sans for everything that I do. It's playful and happy and round and kind, and it makes everyone joyful. Everyone always notices the font that you used whenever you pick Comic Sans.
I'll never forget. I watched a company pitch themselves using a PowerPoint with like 50 different fonts, but primarily Comic Sans. Truly, I could not believe what I was seeing.
You had to have shown it to one person.
I was like, have you not been on the internet?
Like one person. All it would take is one person to see that, and they would say, "Hey, not Comic Sans." Like,
yeah, hey,
everyone in the
Small
world
change.
except for that guy.
Yeah.
Good God.
Gosh, and you have to actively go and switch every single time. You have to actively choose to make that bad decision every time. Like,
Yeah.
like
No program's like, hey, you want to use Comic Sans?
Beautiful. Well, guys, coming up, we are going to play some hypothetically here on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. You're watching that exact show here on Better Sports Network.
Front Yard Fantasy with Simon, JL, and Coop.
Sell me on doing away with the 2-conference system in the NFL.
Is it really a sale whenever this is something that's commonly agreed upon? I'm selling you on water being wet. I'm selling you on something that is objectively true right here. We look at teams at the end of the season and we go, how the hell does one team have such an easy schedule while another team is just absolutely getting obliterated? And that's because of the 2-conference system, because the division system feeds into this conference system. It's a symptom of the greater problem. Like these divisional matchups, you're telling me it's fair that the Buccaneers are in the playoffs after playing the Panthers twice, the Falcons twice, and the Saints twice this year? That is unbelievable. There are multiple more deserving teams every single year that, because of this system where we silo them into random groups, it determines the order. And yes, originally this was geography based, right? We had these divisions, they were geography. It's 2023, my dudes. Geography doesn't matter whenever it comes to the size of the United States. These teams can travel anywhere. They don't need to geographically locate them in divisions or conferences to make the games make more sense. If USC can be in the Big Ten, why the hell can't Miami play San Francisco every year? It can happen. They've got more money than these colleges and they're not taking classes. All it does is create an ecosystem where less talented teams can get rewarded for playing in weaker divisions and more talented teams are punished for continuing to improve.
Damn, bro.
Drop the mic.
I like to picture some geography teacher out there just threw a pen on the ground. He was like, how dare you? He smacked the globe. He was like, what do you
all
mean?
the hard work we've done.
2023, geography doesn't matter, right? Smacks his
You know
globe.
how long it took for us to get respect?
Globe goes spinning around, right? Geography doesn't matter. How dare
I'm
you?
just imagining they ripped on the world map and underneath is Algebra 2. Like they just go straight into being a math teacher.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray. Weekdays at noon Eastern, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
Paper straws. Oh, they're so bad, Ray. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say screw Mother Earth. Give me a real straw. The paper straw thing is a step too far in saving the planet for me.
It's a great idea. The problem is it has to last. Like, it can't go mushy halfway through my drink.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. They have a hard time standing up if you don't drink that
100%. That's my issue, Ray. I'm all for taking care of the only planet we got. But, Ray, some people like to drive a lot. I don't. I don't get on them for they have to drive 20 minutes to work every day. Can I just get a plastic straw? Like, I think, Ray, we should be able to pay for a card that says, I don't drive every day, so they said I could have this kind of environmental impact by getting a plastic straw. I am in favor, Ray, of government-issued plastic straws if I have the proof that I'm worthy of such a thing. If you want it, you get it. It's kind of like the Clear Pass.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Like, Ray, I'd be willing to pay an extra $2 a year, and I get as many plastic straws as I want when I go out to the restaurant.
And the $2 goes toward cleaning the oceans or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's not a terrible idea. Not terrible.
Call, chat, enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We are about to get into some hypothetically, the game where we just pursue, and overthink the hell out of some hypothetical scenarios that are going to be thrown our direction. JL's got the scenarios for us, and we're going to run through them. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love this game.
Me too. I wanted to do this game for so long before we started the show, or just do it as like a video. And I was so glad that we were able to turn it into a segment because everything I wished. We nailed it.
Everything I hoped for.
Everything I need. Oh, stats by
Oh,
Tim.
yeah.
Sleek
designs for your trailer.
Oh, I love that.
I just realized
those legs are a little thin though. We got to beef them up.
Yeah. We need to start adding Tim to every single thumbnail. My God, Tim. All right, your first hypothetically prompt. It's nice, a simple one, boys. Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live to 100 with a lot of regrets?
20.
Tim's like, can we make it sooner? How about 10 and half the regrets?
Yeah, was this a negotiation? What are we doing? Are we bartering?
So Tim, 20 and
20,
but then you have no regrets, not a single one.
Yeah, well, especially not now with that answer.
So JL, my question for you, does this eliminate past regrets or just new regrets don't happen?
It eliminates past regrets.
And how does it eliminate them? Does it like, do I transcend to a higher place, like emotionally, and like I no longer regret them, or like the things I regret didn't happen? Like it changed the course of my life.
They happen. You just learned that it's okay that they happen because it doesn't matter.
So then does that same thing apply to the next 20 years, or does the next 20 years all my decisions are the good ones?
Same thing. It's just you live your life to the fullest.
So you're asking an unemotionally fulfilled person to pick a 100-year life, or like if they want enlightenment. Like, of course, I'm not enlightened, so I'm not going to pick enlightenment. If I was enlightened, I might pick enlightenment. But right now, I'm just thinking like 20 years, I'm going to be 48. Like that doesn't sound like a nice time to die. There's so much left I want to do.
Yeah, but have you seen my grandma? She's so old.
How many regrets does she have?
I don't know, but probably a few or something, like not getting more involved with World War II because she was alive during that.
Yes, I don't know. Like maybe not getting involved with World War II.
She lays in bed. She's like, shoot, I really should have done more.
Man,
that was a whole thing, and I didn't do a single thing about it.
They did it without me, but still, I could have helped. Yeah. Spent all day reading books in this library.
I've said it on the show before, and not to get dark, but my biggest fear is death. I go down that rabbit hole laying in bed way too often. Probably like twice a week I don't sleep because I'm thinking about dying. So the idea of that, like there's a timer on it now, 20 years. That would freak me out, man. I would not sleep for 20 years. I'm not sure I'm ever coming to terms with it.
But if you live to 100, you are, it works in the same way that you transcend on the other side of this. If you take the 20,
he just regrets into this like spiraling little shriveling ball of stress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you live a very unfulfilled life.
Right? Scrooge.
Not entirely unfulfilled, but just a lot of regrets means it's at least unfulfilled.
That works in the sense that by that point, if I've lived 100 years of nothing but regrets, I probably want to die and I'm no longer scared anymore. Right? Because that's the thing I'm most scared of.
You wasted your time.
So mine's like a fast pass.
So it's an incredibly scary roller coaster, one that I am so nervous to ride. Like I am just freaking out about riding it.
And I'm just like, whoa!
In front of the line.
Tim bought the fast pass sprint to the front, and I'm like,
Tim's number one.
I'm glad there's a 4-hour line. I'm standing back there, and I'm like, have you ridden this one before? What happens when it goes around that corner? I can't see.
Tim's like, no regrets.
Really go into that wall? I'm like, ooh, is that how it goes?
Tim's like, wahoo!
That'd be
So
cool.
what's it going to be, Simon? Or do you have any more follow-up questions?
Oh man, no. Think of all the stuff that you could do with no regrets. Like if you truly don't feel any regrets about anything, you could be a really, really good person or a really, really bad person.
Yeah.
Do I trust myself to be a good person if I feel no regrets about any of my actions?
I think I'd become famous, like actually famous, because I would definitely, I mean, I'd get all sorts of tattoos and stuff. Like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now, but it really wouldn't matter.
You know what?
Just end up in prison for the 20 years of your life.
Oof. Yeah, but I wouldn't regret it though.
That's true. You would have to spin it, I guess.
You know what? You get to live life. That would just eliminate like
all stress,
so much anxiety and stress. Like no matter what you did, you ruined everything. You destroyed your relationship, burned your house to the ground, wrecked your car, spent all your money, got into massive gambling debt. You just walk away at the end of the day.
I'm just skipping.
You'd be like, man, that was a pretty good day.
Yeah.
I'm picking that one. I'm picking that one, and I'm gonna be so scared as that final day approaches.
This
But
feels like
actually, no, I'm not, because I'm not going to regret this decision. It eliminates the fear as well.
yeah, you've lived a fully satisfied life.
Sorry, Leanne.
This reminds me of the whole like immortality debate, where it's just like you're just gonna get like these really rich people who are super old, and they just they're trying to extend life, but it just gets terrible.
The Justin Timberlake argument.
Oh, plus I get to 49, and I think that would be so frustrating for some people. It's like you couldn't even make it to 50. I'm like, nah.
Oh, we're so close.
Nah.
Your two says this. Tim, right? So close.
You made me just question if Justin Timberlake was in fact in that movie in
What
time.
movie?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, in time, yeah.
where the rich like just
Oh,
of
yeah,
course
yeah,
the currency is time, but they're collecting that to become
You're
basically
right.
immortal.
My mind went straight to oh my god, what is the name of that sci-fi movie? Why am I blanking on this?
Alien.
Right?
Battleship with
It's
Rihanna.
on Netflix.
Battlestar Galactica.
A battleship with Rihanna.
Where they have like sleeves. They have like
The one with Sean Connery in a red diaper.
Most
That's it.
shows where they have clothes.
They have Xenon Girl. of the
Altered Carbon.
21st
Thank
Century.
you. Altered Carbon.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
It's
like
a
that
babe,
show.
Pig in the City.
Babe, Pig in the City. It's Jay's favorite. All right, our next.
That Justin Timberlake movie, really quickly. If he had gotten a different hand, like he gambled all of his money away, all of his time away. If he had just gotten like a 2 and a 6, then I wanted
End
the
of
movie to just end right there.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of like that movie though.
Shoot.
Tim, one of my favorite ideas you ever had is that every person in the United States gets one film rewrite.
Oh,
You're allowed to just call it in. You can just be like, hey, I'm using my one. I need you to remake this, but at this point, change this. And it can be small things like Justin Timberlake has a 2 and a 6. He runs out of time. The movie's over. I need you to create that. And then you just get to have that forever. And everyone gets one.
Yep. Oh, man.
Just one. God, that'd be so.
There's
They have
so
to go
many.
get the actors. Sorry, man. They keep picking you. What do you want? What do you want from me?
Transformers has been rewritten 1,000 times.
Nicolas Cage and Shia LaBeouf are now just so busy. Those two guys.
They just get interchanged with each other constantly.
Yeah, like remake National Treasure, but with Shia LaBeouf instead.
Every movie with Shia LaBeouf and Nicolas Cage. We have like a comprehensive list of every single
Holes.
movie ever made.
Holes
but
in
with
face
starring
range.
Shia
You
LaBeouf.
say holes, but with Nick Cage.
Especially now.
Especially now. Holes, but with Shia LaBeouf now.
Oh my god. I'm trying to. There's
Oh,
some
Lord.
really good
Oh, that's
Nick
a great
Cage
one.
movies we could shove Shia LaBeouf into as well.
Nicolas Cage, Shia LaBeouf. Oh my god. All right, guys, let's get into our next prompt here. Our next hypothetically prompt. Here it is. JL's busy running the business side of the FYF team.
We did this
While he-
one.
Oh, you did this one?
Yeah, we did this one without you. While you were gone, we plotted how to destroy the
Classic.
business.
Nice.
Tim came up with a real answer, and I forget what it was. A good one.
Just like call EA with an anonymous tip.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because that has always been in the back of my mind. Is like, one day won't be big enough that they're gonna hear that. they're gonna come knocking.
Well, apparently the word game is a really difficult word to hear. So maybe they'll just hear us and they'll go, it's in the game. And they'll go, what? It's in the what? It's in the what?
It's in the what? All right. Our next prompt. Would you rather only be able to buy used toilet paper or only drink other people's half-drunken drinks?
It's got to be the half-drunken drinks.
How
It's
used? How, like...
It varies. It varies. So you'll be able to probably salvage some or work around it. Others probably not.
Is it like my used toilet paper or Simon's used toilet paper?
It's all wet.
It's okay.
But used is like... Okay, is this used in the United States or used in...
They
for
source
example,
it from all over.
Mexico, because like in Mexico, you don't flush toilet paper. You put it in a bin next to the toilet.
In most South American countries as well.
Okay,
And
so-
Central American as well.
That makes sense. I hadn't traveled to other countries that had done that, but I knew that was the case there. In the US, if I'm buying American toilet paper, if I'm buying domestic TP, It's wet, like you said, JL. It is soaked through. They're just delivering a ball. Maybe they dry. Okay, here's what I'm doing. And let me know if this is allowed, JL. Have you guys ever made paper mache?
I'm more like pooper mache.
I'm making pooper mache. That's exactly where I was going, Tim. I'm going to make pooper mache. I'm just going to break down all of this wet, poopy, shitty pee-pee toilet paper into a big old thing. I've got you get that big like metal tray with the grates or whatever, and you place it in there, and then you press all the liquid out, and you create new paper.
Not just liquid.
Oh no, you're pressing some poo out of that pooper mache. And then I'm gonna have pooper mache toilet paper. I don't know if that's the one I'm picking, but I think that's the route you have to go. That's the way to make that one doable. Otherwise, I'm not rubbing somebody else's dirty toilet paper. That's disgusting. That's vile. I can't believe you said it out loud. I can't believe Keith wrote that down.
He did, and I did.
I can't believe you wrote that down.
So I know
bare ass airport toilet seats, basically the same thing.
No, it's not. There's no poop on there.
So I know I'm
there's
less poop
on there for sure.
Far less. So I know I'm not really good at planning stuff out. So I often don't have tissues, which means I often use toilet paper as tissues. That's probably not as gross as the pee pee poo poo toilet paper. So there's a chance that what I'm getting at is that there's a chance that toilet paper is used in more different uses than just for the pee pee poo poo, which means you might be able to escape. You just have to. It's a 1 in 1,000 shot, but you gotta look through it, and then you could find the clean
piece, the gem.
You find the square with the smushed spider in it.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
Oh, let me just remove this spider. Good, as
or like blew
new.
their nose a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what? You get a couple boogies in the bum. It happens to the best of us.
We all get boogies in the bum from time to time.
And if you're having fun, you're getting boogies in the bum. It's 2023.
And I gotta get a bidet anyway, so like I wouldn't be using as much. So
you can't toss a salad without a little dressing.
What was the other option?
But can't you?
Nah, it doesn't work. It does not work.
Also, dry salad.
What's up, Mr. Scamper? Scamper said pooper mache being the first words I hear in the morning. Love you guys.
Pooper mache.
We also got Dave in the chat. Toronto Dave, what's up? So got an issue? Here's a tissue.
Here's a tissue.
Yeah, exactly.
The other one was half drunk drinks. Is the only thing you can drink. And I think this is just called having a girlfriend. No matter what beverage you get,
at least you know that that your girlfriend, where your girlfriend's been, where her mouth has been.
Yeah, who's drinking, who's drunken drinks.
Everyone and
everyone.
Anyone.
You just get a random.
It's the same as the toilet paper. It's just you get a random distribution.
You just get like a
delivered to you.
I like to
like a Hello Fresh, except Hello Kind of Fresh.
Exactly.
Hello Kind of Fresh.
Hello Kind of Fresh.
I like the idea that like it's every time you crack a drink, just somebody that you didn't see before shows up, grabs it out of your hand, chugs half, and puts it back in your hand. Like you fill up your cup with the soda fountain, and some dude just like snatches it aggressively, chugs it, and hands it back to you.
Can I like force feed them a straw so they're using a straw?
No.
Dang. But what if I'm stronger than they are?
Like that would be the equivalent of like, can I just force people to not use toilet paper? to use way more toilet paper than they need?
These are the questions we gotta ask.
With the drinks, I will admit, and I've admitted this publicly before, when I used to work at Macaroni Grill, they sold canned flavored San Pellegrino waters that were so delicious and were $12 a can at Macaroni Grill. I was a broke college kid working over the summer, and when someone would order a $12 water and not drink the whole thing, you bet your ass when I bust that table, I was chugging it back in the kitchen every single time. I drank so many half-drink San Pellegrino flavored waters because they were delicious.
Oh,
dude, just even at Triple T's, like when people would leave the table, they leave like half a pitcher. I'm like, for me?
It's not even my birthday.
It's not even my birthday.
So what we're learning is in college, you're disgusting.
And that's why mono is so prevalent on college campuses.
Free liquids take priority over any level of hygiene in college. Free liquids, free
a lot of
liquids
stuff.
here.
Free a lot of stuff.
Only half. Somebody drank a bunch of it.
The things I would sit through
That's
for
the
a free
pitch.
T-shirt or free pizza in college were just a little bit too high. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
could trick me into almost anything if you said free T-shirt.
Oh gosh,
Yep.
imagine a free beer with Sammy. I would drink half the beer. That's how you had to do it. They just didn't tell us.
That goes down in Clemson infamy. Like top 5 Clemson moments, the Clemson free beer with Sammy Watkins. I got kind of inspired by Pooper Mache, I feel like. Like I've always wanted to like be an artist of some sort, and I feel like I could bring that to like
A fartist, if you will.
Here we have our esteemed fartist showing his masterpiece, Pooper Mache.
This skid mark is our finest shard.
Look at the brush strokes. Look at the butt strokes.
beautiful. See, I can just set up at an art festival and I can sell my Pooper Mache.
Fart festival, come on.
The fart festival,
Come
yeah.
on.
You're right. I'm sorry. At the fart festival. And I can sell my Pooper Mache, and I think I can use it at home as well. It's going to be multifunctional. And this is me now. My identity is the Pooper Mache fartist.
I'm the pooper.
You just need your taint palette.
Yeah, what's the taint palette?
Oh my god.
George said game for fantasy football. Stay with poop jokes. Well, you might be the only one, George.
Hold on, let me get my taints.
Oh man, that's an inspiring poolet you got there. Oh.
So, would you rather only be able to buy used toilet paper, only drink other people's half-drunken drinks? Are you guys both going with the half-drunken drinks?
No, I'm taking the toilet paper.
I'm going half drunken drinks.
Drunken drinks.
We're both recycling. I'm saving on food waste. Simon is saving on waste waste.
God, you know what I didn't think about? That was like the volume of toilet paper I make. There's a pretty good shot I just get my own back. Right? Like
that's a good point. Like, hey, I recognize you.
I'm a pretty hefty source of used toilet paper.
It comes in a box and it just says return to sender.
Please, you're using more than we can send you. You don't have to do this.
I don't even realize it, but all of a sudden there's like a bucket with a tube coming out of the roof of my ceiling in the bathroom. And whenever I flush, it just goes straight back down and plops into the bucket.
I'm just picturing at some point you've recycled the same paper so much it just turns into like diamond hardness.
That's how I
paper.
make the Pooper Mache. It's just after 10 uses, it is Pooper Mache. Done. And then I sell it.
I don't think I've ever laughed this hard on the stream.
These are good ones.
These are good ones.
So to answer your question, I would purchase used toilet paper.
All right. All right. Good to know. Our next hypothetically prompt is: would you rather have to ask your ex for a ride every time you want to go somewhere, or stub your toe every time you start talking to someone?
Is it the same ex every time, or does it alternate? Like, is it a random ex picking me up? Is there an order? Like, okay, this is so and so's day. This is her day. This is her day.
It's
the
always
same
the one that you least want to text in that moment.
Okay. Oh, so not necessarily the same one, but always the one that I want least. Like,
Yeah.
So that could be the same one, but there could be certain scenarios
where like you asking that person to go somewhere makes it worse to ask one over the other.
Okay.
Yikes.
Yikes. That's a tough one. And not that like I got no ill will towards any exes. I hope they're all happy and doing great. That being said, I do not want them to pick me up. And some of them weren't particularly kind or nice to me when we were dating. So I can't imagine they'd be too thrilled having to drive my ass around all the time now. They didn't like seeing me when we were together. No. like they were unhappy when their phone rang and it was my name while we were dating. If
like,
now
this schmuck again.
like 7 years later, they see my name. Hey, I was kind of hoping I could get Taco Bell for lunch. Can you pick me up? Like could you drop my girlfriend and I off at the airport?
10 states away.
I'm sorry. That's just what I got to do. Yikes. Yeah, that one's tough. Do they pick me up in their car? Because now I'm considering the vehicles as well.
No, they walk to you, get your car.
Damn it, because I dated a girl in high school with a sick convertible Bug. That I'm just thinking, like, if like in the summer, if I could just have her pick me up and drive me around in the Bug, like, we could get past the awkwardness. Oh, she wasn't a very good driver though either. Man, I'm considering so many factors here. And what was the other side?
Said whenever you start talking to somebody, you stub your toe.
Yeah. So would you rather have to ask your ex for a ride every time you want to go somewhere, or stub your toe every time you start talking to someone? And I threw a poll in the FYF YouTube chat. So vote on that chat. Let us know what you think. Which side would you pick?
I have to go places, dude.
You have to talk to people.
Yeah, but pain is temporary. So when I'm stubbing my toe, does a set of furniture stacked by Tim show up, and I just stub my toe on an incredibly sturdy table?
An incredibly sturdy table with a massively wide bottom.
Massively wide
A just unbelievably wide bottom.
You have okay. So here's how I'm gonna spin that. You have no many times I would go up to somebody and like I'd be just looking dead in the eye to like a stranger and be like, check this out. But I'd stub my toe immediately, and then, or was that crazy? Like,
where did that come from? Tim's a magician now. Tim has now turned this into being he's a street magician with one trick. I can make furniture appear.
with my one magic word.
It's just table shows up.
That's your BAM, your Emerald's BAM.
Oh man.
James says eventually your toe will callus, right?
I don't think it's always a callus thing. I think sometimes it pushes it back and hurts.
Yikes.
It's not just like a pressure, like
I
a
feel
dog.
like my fists have gotten like tougher. Like my wrists are tougher because I punch punching bags all the time now. I feel like my toes are just become the fists of my feet. They just be my feet.
Yeah. You now can stub your toe, and whatever you stubbed it against just gets obliterated.
Wasn't that crazy?
It's like in
now look at me.
Did you guys watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah,
remember there's like a tournament. I forget the specific. There's a tournament that they're trying to enter, and there's like a punching machine.
Oh yeah,
They have to like reach a score to qualify in, and the people are punching as hard as they can to get like 198, and then they go up and just poke it with their finger, and it breaks the machine, shatters it into pieces. That's Tim.
And then Vegeta comes up and he's like, "I'm not holding back," and he just destroys the machine.
He absolutely launches it into another dimension. Tim is now the Vegeta of the NFL. He's a kicker, but just they line him up anywhere on the field. 99-yard line. All he has to do is talk to someone.
No, I can't because then the furniture will just show up on the field.
On the stack by Tim. The stack by Tim just absolutely ruins the chances for your team to win.
Take a full swing and just crush my toe into a really nice dresser.
Wrecked by Tim.
It's the Super Bowl. 2 seconds left. They're lined up on the 35-yard line. Send Tim out to kick the field goal. He runs up, and as he kicks it, he says,
whispers, "Hi, Mom.
This is for you, Dad."
There's madness on the field. He's trying to talk everybody down, but furniture just keeps piling up on the field.
Luxury furniture everywhere.
Man.
Wow, mid-modern century. Look how elegant.
Tim's furniture style is mid-century thick. Scott Fish in here. I couldn't listen today, but wanted to jump in that chat to say you all rock. Bye.
You rock,
well, thanks for coming in, Scott.
You missed a good one.
And I was asking you earlier what was colder, Minnesota or Buffalo. So let me know, because I don't want to Google it. And I don't mean right now, I mean in general. The stub toe one it's always shocking and it hurts your feelings. Like, just to take it back a step. I'm also thinking
what else hurts your feelings?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend. Now, if this was my ex-girlfriend picks up Tim to give him a ride, all of my ex-girlfriends loved Tim. Every single one of them just would come over, would like kick me in the nuts and be like, "Hey, Tim, Want to go out to dinner? Like,
Is that surprising?
Not really.
No.
I'm just trying to do my puzzle, dude. Like,
I have
that was one of the
999
most
pieces
frustrating-
left.
that is a very specific memory that Tim is referencing there.
God damn it! I just want to do this puzzle in peace.
Not talk about Simon. Man. Also, Scott said Minnesota has the lowest average temperature in the lower 48. So there we go. Suck it,
Wow.
Buffalo. Minnesota
So
wins.
He said bye, but then lingered.
Yeah, I asked him a question and got him to stick around. So if you keep asking
Aha.
questions,
Don't go where you have to go, Scott. Stay here with us.
do they truly have to drive the full distance to pick me up? Like if my ex lives in
No.
hypothetically
And
one of the Carolinas, do they have
they
to
don't-
drive to Texas to grab me?
them saying no doesn't preclude you from going places.
Oh, so they can say no. I just have to ask every time. I thought they were going to pick me up.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think that would make it way too lopsided.
They're just going to block my number.
One's
after-
inconvenient,
I know,
one
right?
is debilitating.
Just whenever you have to go somewhere, just have GPT, just send a text, like just go, send it.
You do it from not your number. You set up like a Twilio number. You just do it. You create it. It's all automatic. She's talking. Yeah, you're talking to Chat GPT the whole time.
Yeah, but now that's less fun. I feel like I'd want to make it at least a cameo or something. Like have I don't know, like the other Wilson brother just have to ask every single time to pay him to ask.
Well, if I can't pick, because you said it's the one that would be worst in that situation, I think there are situations where some of them would say yes. Like I think there are situations where some of them would say yes. And
You have to tell them exactly what you're doing, though, like what you need it for, where you're going. You have to give them all the context that
That's
you
what
would
I'm
give.
saying. I think if I say Leanne and I have an anniversary dinner coming up, I think there are exes that would love to be my ride for my 6-year anniversary dinner with my current
And then you get
girlfriend.
free Uber.
I really
Maybe.
think they would relish the opportunity to drive to Texas and give me and my girlfriend a ride to dinner. I think they'd have fun with that. So I don't know if I could pick that one. That sounds like it's going to ruin. And then let's say it ruins this relationship and I want to start dating again.
You saying
An
they're a little
ex-
experimental? They might want to.
Well, no.
They
not-
like Leanne. They're like,
no,
"Ooh,
complete opposite direction. They're going to enjoy torturing me, ruining this relationship. And then after they do that, you're telling me any first date I go on, like after they ruin this relationship, any first date I go on from then on has to be driven by one of my exes, which
they
could
at least
include,
know where it is because you're gonna be like, hey, can you give me a ride to Spatuno's?
I think I gotta pick the stub toe, even though I use
you
my
walk
toes all the
places?
time.
Can you
That's
walk
a good
places?
point. Yeah, can I
Yeah,
walk
'cause
or
you
does it
just
have
you
to
just
be
like
a ride?
go anywhere
Yeah, but you have to text them still, but you can walk places.
to go anywhere. Like,
Every time you want to go anywhere, you gotta text them and ask.
oh, that's nuts.
You're like, man, one day I want to go to Hawaii. Hey, can you give me a ride to Hawaii?
No, I'm more worried about like after this, if I want to walk up to the corner store and grab a donut.
Yeah. Do I have to like ask for permission?
And if they say yes, they could just use it to deprive me of donuts because, like, yes, they'd have to drive to Texas,
Ugh.
but I'd have to wait until they got here.
You don't have to wait.
Oh, it's just about the text.
It's just about having to reach out to them and give them the information. Yeah.
Oh, so I could even turn down the ride if they said yes.
Like stubbing your toe is like, it just happens in the moment and it's kind of painful, but then it's okay.
Oh, then I pick that one.
What one?
And I pick the texting my ex's one then, because I think then I avoid that pain. I use my toes in rock climbing. If I stub them all the time, it's just going to make
They'll be
that
calloused,
difficult.
like Dame said.
I don't think they'll be calloused. I think they'll just be gross and have like disgusting toenails that are suddenly like impacted and bruised.
Booger
and-
finger toes.
yeah, they're just going to be like wildly disgusting.
What?
So
what constitutes
Booger
starting
McFarlane,
a
not
con-
boogers. Sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
what constitutes starting and ending a conversation? Like if two people are in a space for a while, you know, but you like stop for a little bit because one's
Every time
going
you
to the
start
bathroom.
talking to someone, not to start a conversation. Every time you start talking to someone.
So every response would be its own starting to talk to someone.
No, okay. So I guess that it would be.
If there's a
No.
natural pause, you'll know it when
Yeah.
you'll find that line, Tim.
Yeah.
As you start stubbing your toe.
As you start stubbing your toe, you'll realize it's somewhere in the middle of the toe.
It's like, wait, stay talking.
I'm testing something.
Damn it, no. Does that count for text? Does it count for?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, well now these are tilting the opposite direction.
It's going to be very difficult for me on this show for what I do.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people. It's kind of my main job.
That's like literally
everyone in the
all I
chat.
do.
Hey, Jake.
Damn. Okay.
What's up? And I'm stubbing it under my desk.
Yeah. Just wrecking the whole time.
Oh, damn. Well, if that's the case, the X one it's got to be the winner. That's a bummer. But you know what? I still like the opportunity to get my brand new line of furniture into existence. This means I'm manifesting that. I think I'll take it.
This is just your like supply train.
My supply train comes on thick trains.
Supply train.
That makes me think of like if a little kid had to make an episode of a show about a businessman.
Yeah.
And like he just
kind
of knew all the words. He'd be like, yeah, and then my dad works in supply train.
This is like Matt Walsh from Trophy Smash. His kid thinks he's a supply train conductor.
He's a supply train conductor. His whistle isn't very loud though.
The chat overwhelmingly going stub your toe every time you talk.
Overwhelmingly, define overwhelmingly.
83%.
Wow.
Okay. Well, would you rather stub your toe every time you walked or not have any toes?
Ooh, no toes. Who needs them?
I mean, I feel like people need them. I think that's kind of the
I don't use my toes for nothing.
I'll see Damien here saying, would you rather have a supply chain or a supply train?
Supply trains all day.
Yeah.
Depends the quality of
a train is a chain of trains.
Are there diamonds on the chain, or is this like a Kirk Cousins tinfoil chain?
I think a T-Pain style, like T-Pain big ass chain style chain.
It's still a train though. That's pretty sweet.
It just says supply on it. It's a supply.
I know a lot of people that have chains. I don't know anyone that has a train.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person.
And dude, a train is a chain of trains.
Yeah.
A train is a chain of trains. That is true, Tim. One train, two train, red train, supply
So
train.
you guys are both going X, right?
We're both going X.
Okay.
Oh, when Tim went stub toe for
I'm
his
going
furniture
stub toe.
brand.
I'm going stub toe. I'm going to be so wealthy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Well, guys, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us today on this Friday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. But before you do that, enjoy Moose and Keith and make sure you enter our BSN match game contest. Today's episode of the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show brought to you by Stacked by Tim. Thick where it counts. We will see you guys on Monday. Until then, though, we are out of here. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.